Hey yo, B, what you thought, huh? I'm back. Yeah, buddy. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for the birthday wishes. Everybody's awesome. You know what I'm saying? But we back. It feels good to be back. Talking about the old fashioned wrestling, let y'all know what's happening. We're gonna talk about it. A lot of news, man. New championship title. The WWE Draft. WWE possibly getting sued for racism. A plethora of things, B. Then you got AEW side. You got my boy Roderick Strong showing up to help out this dude, Adam Cole, baby, at Dynamite. Looks goody, Black Star. I'm not even going to waste no time with it. Let me drop the link. Because, you know what I'm saying? We need to catch up. We all need to catch up. I took the day off this past Tuesday because it was the B day. Well, we back like we never left. That's right. You see what Black Star said? Macho Man from the top rope that like button early. And if you don't do that, your girls are ho. Remember, I told you Jim Duggan put that thumb up? That's right. I see you.
What's goody, man?
Was goody, was goody. And also,
Not much, man.
I actually wanted to start off with the whole title, the new title, the World Championship, whatever you're gonna call it, right?
Right.
Um, Now a lot of people didn't like how it looked. I actually like how it looks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Like I like it
it,
too.
yeah. And I guess I get it that people don't like it. You know, given the fact that what are we doing here? I thought that everybody had to beat Roman or somebody had to beat Roman to become the man. You know, become the top dog, so to speak. But it's
That's what I
like,
was thinking too. But Roman's off way too often.
yeah, be that as it may. That's what I was saying from before, and I keep saying this shit. I keep stressing the fact that they should have just had Drew McIntyre win that Clash of the Castle, and before then, like have them figure out a way to split the belts. You know what I'm saying? It's like they did what they did, and they didn't have no plans for Roman Reigns in the long run. And then
They've
you
been
had
sitting on this since
sign him.
WrestleMania 38.
Say it again.
They've been sitting on this since WrestleMania 38.
They were sitting on what?
The World Heavyweight Championship.
Hmm. Yeah, it's basically the big gold belt with the big WWE logo in the front. Yeah, it is. And I think that's the only reason why people don't like it because it's like, that big WWE logo, why does it have to be in the front? If it's gonna be in the front, then make it look, style it up a little better. Don't make it just look
Make it
so,
smaller.
yeah. Do something to make it look a little, like you put some time into the craftsmanship. But me personally, I like it. I like how it looks. Maybe people eventually, like, the more you see it, it'll grow on you. Pause. Yeah.
But to me, like all the goodwill dropped on Wednesday.
Talk to me.
That whole racism thing that really killed my mood.
What, the racist shit?
Yeah.
Well, come on now. This ain't nothing new when it comes to WWE. You know what I mean? Like, it does suck actually hearing it like when you know me on paper. And it's like, yo, damn, these dudes are fucking sick. So you wanted this dude Reggie to dress in drag and have what's my dude name again? Shane. What's his name again? Damn, the
Shane
dude
Thorne.
from NXT. Shane Thorne. Yeah, have Shane Thorne as basically like the Terminator for black people, and have him hunting down Reggie and having him trapped in a cage. Like, man,
Like the whole, like that whole thing, the whole Nigerian accent thing. It's just, I'm Nigerian. That's not cool.
yeah. But no offense, I actually like when he was doing that. You know, it was something different. And I guess around that time, Black Panther was still popping. So I get it. And
Like I
it gave,
understand the direction, but don't go full blown like that.
well, it's not only black wrestlers they did it with when they go all the way with it. Like shit, look at Jinder Mahal, and he's not even Indian.
Then the whole 9/11 thing, that shit. Oh, good
Yeah,
lord.
I'm like, yo, come on. When you told me that shit, I'm like, yo, I'm not surprised, but it's like, geez, Louise, like y'all dudes just don't give no fucks because y'all got paper,
Like you seriously want Mansoor to die?
right? And it's like, and you got people out there that didn't believe that. They're like, oh, I don't believe that. That's not true. I'm like, are you kidding me? How long have you been watching WWE to not believe something like that?
Because like
How am I
none
sounding? Am I
really.
breaking up or I'm good? How I'm sounding?
You sound good. You sound good.
Okay. Go ahead. Continue. News. I'm saying something. Go ahead.
Like Vince, like that. Like there's no chill to his game. Like there's no stop. Let me think. Will this kill the superstar that I'm running this for?
He doesn't care because he just looks at all of them as just basically like a meat shield. You're just here just to I could make another you like nothing, like a conveyor belt.
Like, and wrestling fans have no chill. None. So why in the fuck would you run that storyline? Like it's just, it makes no sense. Just just keep Vince away from booking. That's one thing that I found out about that story. Just keep him far away as humanly possible from booking.
And to be fair, Vince McMahon is not only racist towards black folks. Remember, he be doing shit with Japanese motherfuckers too. Every Japanese wrestler got to be hiya and noodles and tea. Like, did you ever think maybe that Japanese motherfucker don't like noodles or tea? Not every Japanese person is the same.
Like it's bad. It's really
And
really bad.
here's the thing too. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it does work. If the actual wrestler or superstar or whatever that's given a particular gimmick, sometimes it works. Like, look at all right, for instance, like this dude. What's my dude name again? Ugandan Giant.
Come on, Andre.
No, no, no,
Oh
no,
no,
no. I might have forgot his fucking name.
you got it.
Kamala. Kamala.
Oh, Kamala. Okay, okay.
That worked. We all thought this motherfucker was from the jungle or some crazy shit. We all thought that shit. This dude's from motherfucking from the South. He from Mississippi, Louisiana. God rest his soul. You know what I mean? It works. It does work at times because at the end of the day, we are watching a television show, and that's not the only television show that has
offensive material.
Yeah, and then they all play roles at the end of the day. So I don't really take it too offensive, but yeah, at many times this dude Vince be like, it's like, come on now, Vince, like now you just pushing it, and he doesn't care because this dude's a fucking billionaire. He don't give a fuck. He knows he can say whatever the fuck he want. If somebody objects to it, throw him a few couple dollars, and they'll shut the fuck up.
Triple H is gonna have to do a masterful job at damage control.
Man, fuck Triple H, man. Like, I stay talking my shit when it comes to Triple H. Triple H will take it up the ass if Vince McMahon tells him to.
I don't. It has. He has to do it. He has to take it on the chin. Because if he does not do that, the amount of bullshit that's going to be coming down his way is going to be epic.
Oh yeah, get ready. They're trying to find anything and everything to besmirch Vince McMahon. It's not even the company as a whole. It's just him. They're trying to just get him. They're trying to like use scare tactics and shit to get him the fuck away. It's not gonna fucking work. Vince McMahon doesn't care. He doesn't care. Like he feels that he's just that powerful. Like he's on top of Mount Olympus. He's not gonna care.
Like this has to be enough. This has to be enough.
I feel you. I definitely feel you. Like look at this head scandal shit. We all thought like, oh hell nah. Vince had to retire. Vince had to step down. It's definitely a wrap. This dude came back in a matter of months. If that didn't stop him, nothing really will. But you know what I'm saying? But natural causes.
Like, but there's two things that I'm happy for this week, and one of those things is Naomi getting to Impact.
Right, Trinity Star. Yeah, that was great news. Yeah,
that was a great move by her.
I agree.
And a Big E possibly coming back.
And I hope he's not rushing it. I really hope he's not rushing it. Like my dude, come back. You know what I'm saying? Just because you 100% doesn't mean you have to automatically just come right back. Like just enjoy life, chill for a little while. Get to 200% because that next shit you can't fuck with that.
He cannot shuck and jive. That shit is over. You can't.
That shit been over. It's been a wrap for that shit. I don't know why they keep doing that shit, twerking and grinding. And New Day should have been disbanded a long time ago.
You have to take this seriously. You have to. I don't give a shit if he turns heel.
Wasn't the pitch that he was supposed to get at this dude, Gunther? He was supposed to come back to go against Gunther to like avenge Xavier Woods or some shit like that.
That actually be a good match. I actually want to see that.
Oh hell yeah, that would be a real good match. Both of them dudes, like, because even when Big E's playing around, he does get physical.
But he can't do the hip. He can't do the hip gyrations. He can't do any of that shit.
Yeah, it's enough of that shit. I've been saying that from before. He need to stop doing that bullshit. I never understood why he did that shit, because every time he did that suicide dive or whatever the fuck you want to call it, just sped through the middle ropes, he always landed on his neck. All the time. And then this dude just finished him off with that suplex.
Then AJ coming back, I'm happy for him. Happy for AJ coming back.
Yeah, definitely. I wish he'd just come back by himself. Like, fuck the OC. Like, they're holding him back, man. Them dudes fucking suck. I don't understand.
Like, what I thought would happen, like, seriously, what I thought would happen was that like I thought that that Cody would join, and that they will be on Raw, and they would be facing like Judgment Day or something like that. But
hell no. What made you think? What made you think that? That ain't that. That might happen like down the road. See, like for instance, now if there was a join up to go against the bloodline, that you know what I mean, that's what you call good TV. Like, oh shit, the Bullet Club against the bloodline. Okay, now we talking. That's something we can sink our teeth into. But Vince McMahon, he's not about fun. He doesn't know how to have fun. And this shit is so easy. You see how easy I booked that?
The force when he likes down our throats.
Right. You see how easy that was to book? I booked that shit in literally 2 seconds. How hard was that? They don't care. You know why they don't care? Like I keep saying, they're not hungry. They're gonna make their money hand over fist anyway. So it's like, why try? And it fucking sucks.
Like another thing that I was happy about, that Bianca said no to that pitch that they kept on running on her.
Yeah, she said it 3 times. And they kept trying to make her do it. Like, yo, y'all motherfuckers are weird. What's wrong with y'all? And they got all these motherfucking creative writers that don't come up with shit. I mean, these dudes are terrible. Like, yo, that's the best y'all could do. It's like 60, 70 of y'all. And that's the best y'all could do?
Like, if I ran WWE, I would fire every single one of them. So I don't give a fuck.
Because might as well. What are y'all doing? Like, y'all got all these writers. Y'all got like 70 writers, 100 writers, or whatever. Y'all should have 2 years booked and pencil. 2 years flat. Everybody have a plan. It's a lot of y'all motherfuckers. What are y'all doing? Having coke parties and having sluts suck your cock during these fucking meetings? What are y'all doing?
It's all like the rest of y'all just stay in the office and come up with your best shit.
This shit is retarded. Like, it's all these motherfuckers, and like I said the last show, how was it all these writers and we only got what? Two major storylines. Judgment Day and the Bloodline. That's it. Who else has a story?
There's no good ones.
Yeah, like who else? Like it's Cody and Brock. You know what I'm saying? That story came out of nowhere. People still trying to figure out why is Brock mad at Cody.
They came up with a lame reason for that one too.
Huh?
They came up with a lame reason for that too.
Yeah, it's like, and I ain't gonna lie, like I like it, I guess, because you know, how I explained it would have made sense, but WWE didn't give no explanation at all. It's like he just randomly just hated on Cody, and like what I said from before, he should have been on some. Brock should have been on some. Oh, I just don't like his. You know, he's such a punk ass pretty boy trying to come out of nowhere and come in
like that would have worked.
My sport and try to take my spot. Go there with it. It's a you know, it's a thorough explanation.
You're breaking up.
That shit was so dumb. Hell, you got massacred trying to defend Brock Lesnar. Whatever.
Like, it's painful. Like it truly is painful. Like, fuck.
They just have all the material right there in front of them, and they just drop the ball all the time. Well, I'm gonna say all the time, most of the time, because they throw us a bone here and there. But it's like ultimately, it's like, yo, y'all dudes just fucking suck. How you don't see what y'all got right in front of y'all?
Like how I would have done it was that like the second
I
that
see you
Cody got his
talking.
ass beat, and Brock flipped off the crowd. The very next night, Brock should have let off Raw. It came up with a reason, like hey, he's trying to take my spot, and I'm gonna whoop his ass to get my spot back.
Yeah, like say something. You just randomly just attack Cody just to attack him, and you can't fault people for asking, okay, what's going on? Like, why did you turn on Cody? Because we all know that this dude Brock don't work well with others, but still,
Yeah, tough. Who the fuck is that?
Yo, that's Jimmy.
that's when this dude's about to get whacked.
Yeah, that's Jimmy before
okay.
he gets whacked. That's basically Cody. So I figured I have the Jimmy picture in memory of Cody tonight. So
Yeah, so what's going on with the draft? I didn't get to catch the draft. What's going on?
it was bull. I was already going off on John. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of this shit. Sorry, but this whole thing's fucking stupid. All of this is fucking stupid. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be negative. All of this is stupid.
No, talk your shit.
The draft is stupid. The new title is stupid. All this is just fucking something they had to do to satisfy Roman's ego. The only reason they're doing any of this shit is because Roman didn't lose. All of this is completely unnecessary. If Cody had beaten Roman at WrestleMania, he's the undisputed champion. Next night,
all this would be a mute point.
Right, yeah, right. He comes out next night. He says, "You know what? This is the belt I wanted, being a WWE title. But I don't need this belt. I don't want to be selfish. I want to give this up." And then you do the same tournament they're going to do for this new belt. You could have did it for the Universal title, and that's it. That's all they had to do. This draft and this new belt, they're doing all this shit just because Roman doesn't want to fucking lose the belt. It's fucking stupid. And then the stuff of Brock Lesnar, like I joined in on what you guys were saying. They only got one more week before Backlash. They've yet to give an explanation for why Brock attacked Cody.
It don't even matter now. It just what it is.
Right. Well, see, if Cody had beaten Roman, it would have made more sense because the stipulation was as long as Roman was champ, Brock could not challenge for the title. So if Cody's the new champion, then that would mean that Brock can challenge for a belt now. So the turn would have actually made more sense. So you could have actually done the Cody Brock thing if Cody had actually beaten Roman. The point is,
would have made perfect sense.
There's no reason for Roman to be champion now. There's no reason. He literally won because fuck you. That's why. This is no different than Hulk Hogan in 1997 with the dumb bullshit with Starrcade, where it was like, it was a fast count, wasn't a
with Sting. I remember
Sting should have just beat Hogan like clean. That should have been the end of it right there. Or the dumb shit that happened in Bound for Glory. Remember when they did the Bound for Glory series back in 2011 and Bobby Roode won, and he faced Kurt Angle, and then Kurt Angle beat him.
The match?
Yeah. Brett restarted the match, and then when they did the Bound for Glory shit, Kurt Angle beat Rude, and the very next night or the following Impact, James Storm beat Kurt Angle, and then Rude turned heel, and the whole thing was fucking stupid. Like Rude should have just fucking won right there. Like it happens. No company's immune to it. WCW, ECW, TNA, AEW, every company does it. Every so often, there's a title match where it's just like, bro, that was the wrong fucking call. It wasn't about Cody. Like I don't even care about Cody like that. I don't fuck with Cody like that. It's not about him. What it's about is that Roman had done everything he could do with the belt. It's time to move on to the next shit. That's what it was about. There is no reason. There is no reason for him to win because Roman won.
38.
But hold on. Check this. I would say this though. I would say this though. What I was saying from before. I keep saying that because I keep dropping gems, but I gotta keep reminding motherfuckers. I think the reason why they're coming out with this belt now, this dude Roman is definitely taking that strap to WrestleMania 40. It's happening because they're gonna basically keep motherfuckers occupied with that belt, and this dude Roman Reigns is gonna end up going right to WrestleMania 40. Still,
that's bad business, bro.
Whatever.
Yeah, this confirms it,
business, bro.
I'm telling you, it confirms it. Because I was saying that one before.
I'm just simply saying that's bad business. That they're going to make the same mistake New Japan did. We tried to talk about this a couple of weeks ago, but we had to go because we went too long. We went too long. About maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, Blackstar and I were talking about it, so I'll just go through it very briefly. What I was saying a couple of weeks ago was a couple of years back at Wrestle Kingdom, they did Okada and Naito, and I was saying that Okada was basically kind of like a fusion of like what Roman and Gunther are right now. He was the longest reigning IWGP champion. He had the record number of defenses. He had beat everybody. He beat Kenny. He beat Tanahashi. He beat Ishii. He beat Zack Sabre Jr. He beat everybody. Naito was the homegrown guy. He wasn't over at first. He left, went elsewhere, got himself over, came back, won the G1. Very similar to Cody, right? That was when Jericho left WWE. He faced Kenny that same night. That was the basically it was the test run for AEW, and Naito fought Okada that night, and everybody expected Naito to win. There was no reason for Naito to not win, and then he lost. Okada beat him. Everybody was surprised. Casual fans were surprised.
Did Naito win at Dominion that year?
No. He didn't win at Dominion. What happened was he won at Wrestle Kingdom like 2 years later. But the point is that like after Okada beat Naito, and I'm a New Japan fan. When Okada beat Naito, New Japan was never the same because Okada should have lost that night. New Japan was never the same. Naito was never the same. And Naito, he did eventually go on to beat Okada at Wrestle Kingdom like 2 years later. But it wasn't the same. It wasn't this. He's not he's still over, but he's not as over as he was. So it's when you wait too long to pull the trigger, because there's a saying in wrestling, it doesn't matter what company it is, you got to pull the trigger when the iron's hot. If you wait too long, fans lose interest and they don't care, or they'll stop caring. They'll just be like, whatever. So you got to pull the trigger when the iron's hot. And I just find it so weird that WWE, a company that's made fun of WCW for doing dumb shit, why did Goldberg beat Hogan in the Georgia Dome? They could have did that pay-per-view, which is a legitimate point, or why did they do the dumb shit with Sting and Hogan? Sting should have just beat Hogan, which again was another justified criticism,
Sting beat him clean.
I just find it interesting. I just find it interesting that WWE has always made fun of other companies for doing it, and yet here they are doing some dumb shit with Roman, and then the dumb shit with Triple H and Paul Heyman, well, there's more to the story. You got to finish the story. They're all frauds, bro. They're all frauds. I thought Triple H was supposed to be the fucking savior. Isn't that what you guys have been saying for 7-8 years? This dude is not a savior.
Yeah, give up now.
He's a fucking fraud. He's a fraud.
Savior. You got to remember too. You got Vince McMahon still there.
It's hard
to be a savior. It's hard to be a savior when you got Satan on your back.
Right. Thank you. And that's what kills me with this dude. And I constantly say this shit. He doesn't have a backbone. This dude Triple H will book something. He will book something, and here comes Vince. Oh, that's not gonna work for me, pal. Switch that up. I want Moss. Yeah.
And as far as this new belt is concerned, I was going back and forth with John earlier. This dude's smoking crack because he was like, "Oh, don't worry, Cody will win the new belt." I'm like, bro, again, I don't even fuck with Cody like that. The whole point of him coming back to WWE was
what did I miss? That happened in the chat. Hold up.
The whole point of this new belt, the whole point of Cody's return is to win the WWE title. If he wins any other belt, it's a consolation prize. It's an admittance of defeat. It's a burial. It's stupid. This new belt in general is fucking stupid. That's why there's no reason. There's no reason Roman shouldn't have lost.
He's got to win the end game. WrestleMania 40 against Roman. It's got to be Cody and Roman WrestleMania 40. He has to.
Remember what me and told Pitch? It should be. I'm telling you, it should be Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40.
That's what I'm saying. He was the hottest guy going in.
Because it should Roman. This dude Sami Zayn should be the that conquering hero because he deserves it. But here's the thing with these fucking writers: they don't know how to keep shit fresh. You know what I'm saying? Man, look,
it's not a writer thing. Yeah, but Sam, you got to remember too, it's not a writer thing; it's a Vince thing. He gets the final say.
Yeah, and they all write to appease.
These writers coming up with $1 million ideas, and Vince will shit all over it.
All right,
it's a Vince problem. That's the thing. It's a Vince problem.
They all ready to appease this dude, and it's like enough. Grow a backbone, y'all.
Wait, Blackstar, what was your question?
Yeah.
Like, all right. So, which is worse, Jeff Jarrett at TNA or Roman now?
Oh,
Jeff Jarrett and
Roman.
TNA.
Roman, easily. He surpassed them both.
Fuck out of here.
Shit. Everything that's going on right now is all because Roman doesn't want to lose. This draft, this new belt is completely unnecessary. All of it. This is Hulk Hogan bullshit. This shouldn't be happening. He's worse than Hogan and Jarrett.
What about motherfuckers that was supposed to win? Hold on, Joe. What about motherfuckers that was supposed to win the TNA strap? Like a Monty Brown. Like this dude, come on, he had Monty Brown end up being his lapdog. This dude Monty Brown hugging him and grinding on him and shit.
None of that is as bad as what Roman's doing. That was unfortunate, but none of that is as bad as what Roman's doing. Roman's worse than Jarrett and Hogan.
And then not only that, like,
bro,
remember,
when you have to create another belt, I
got you, Tove. I got you, Tove. I got you. Like for instance, Rhino had a resurgence in his career when he won that belt. When he won the NWA TNA belt, he had a resurgence. People was like, oh, okay, this dude Rhino, you know what I mean? I fuck with it. What Jarrett do? The very next fucking show, take the belt right off of him. This dude didn't have no reign at all.
Roman has way more bodies than Jarrett. It's not even close.
Whoa, let's be real. Half of the bodies that he acquired, they didn't really need the strap. They didn't need the strap.
Drew needed it. Sammy needed it. Cody needed it. That's far worse than anything Jarrett did.
Well, Drew. Remember, I vouched for Drew. Remember, I was saying before. I was like, they should have figured out a way to split the titles so Drew could win at Clash at the Castle, and we wouldn't be in the middle of this bullshit.
Basically, I'm saying like this is Hogan bullshit, you know, because as a kid, I never liked Hogan. I've talked about that with Nate several times. Like as a kid, you can watch certain wrestlers like you see on TV, and you can tell like, okay, these are extensions of who they are in real life. And then other characters, it's like, this is fake. Like when I saw Ric Flair, I was like, yeah, Flair's Flair. Savage is Savage, Warrior is Warrior. I never bought Hogan. The whole eat your vitamins, say your prayers. Like even when I was a kid, I knew like this dude's full of shit. That's not
Hogan was trying way too hard.
Yeah, he takes steroids. Like the first politic thing I ever saw as a child was World War III, 95. I remember like when they did.
I remember that shit.
Yeah, I remember like good time.
Yeah, I remember like the fans were booing Hogan. I was watching with my dad. That was like the first time I saw a face get booed. And I know Hogan had been booed before that. And I remember asking my dad, like, why are they booing Hogan? And then my dad was like, oh, that's because he's a politician. I didn't understand what that meant because I was like 6 or something. And the finish of the match, I think, was, I believe Hogan was pulled from outside of the ring.
Giant pulled Hogan under the ring.
Yeah, the Giant pulled him under the ring.
Bottom rope.
Right. And then the ref saw that. And so the ref assumed that Hogan was thrown over the top rope when he wasn't. And so Randy, he won the belt. So it's like they had a new champion, but like the way it was done, you could tell that it was done in a way where Hogan did not want to lose clean. He didn't want to get thrown over the top rope. A lot of Hogan shit was like that. A lot of his losses were done in a way where it's like, okay, I'll put you over, but I'm not going to really put you over. Like, it was always some bullshit, some fuckery with Hogan.
Remember that promo?
He did Macho Man twice.
Right. Yo, he couldn't even let Randy have his moment.
You remember that promo that Macho Man has spit when he won World War III? He was like, I know we went to hell and back about a dozen times, but it is what it is.
Right. It was just little stuff like that. Is
what's up, Marcus?
What they would do all the time, like with Hogan, and so that's why I've never hated. He'll always be the ultimate politician. And people forget, like one of the most political things Hogan ever did was like, this dude was the enemy. Like he left, he went to WCW. He was the leader of the NWO. And then when he came back, like, think about this, bro. Like, think about this. When he came back, Vince's son-in-law, well, they weren't married yet, but his future son-in-law, Triple H, the king of politicians, had just won the undisputed belt at WrestleMania just to drop it to Hogan the next month. Like, wow. Like,
he's trying to break my leg, brother.
He out-politicked Triple H. But anyway, the point I'm making is like it's the type of booking where it's like when it's not about losing or winning. It's like when you have to do shit to satisfy someone else's ego. Like, that's the kind of shit that's happening with Roman right now, because this draft and this new belt, it's all being done just because Roman doesn't want to fucking lose. That's why I say this is the dumbest shit I've seen since Hogan. I can't even compare it. Like, not even Triple H or Jarrett was that bad because they were dumb too. I'm not defending Jarrett. Jarrett was dumb.
Hold on, so let Nate go. Let Nate go. Go ahead, Nate.
No, I was just gonna say Vince is eating his own words. Remember the whole Montreal screw job, time-honored tradition? His own boy Roman won't do it. So there we go. That tells you how fucked up Vince is. So you should never criticize Bret Hart ever. It's like, God.
Peace.
It's true.
All right, peace, y'all. How y'all doing tonight?
Yeah, we have. You already know what to do, Nate. Just hit the link. I don't know what's the deal with this dude, Nate's connection. But hey, let's rewind it real quick. I got you, Malik. But I just want to rewind it real quick. So you and this dude had a back and forth. So what the fuck was up with that shit? What happened?
What happened? What you talking about?
You and whatchamacallit? Damn.
Terrence.
John.
Yeah. Because I was just saying that he was in denial about it because he was somehow trying to rationalize that this is a good thing, and I'm just like, bro, like, you're full of shit. No, it's not. Like, this is dumb. Again, like, I don't even fuck with Cody like that. Like, the whole point of his return.
I love when Toby.
The whole point of his return when he came back on the first Raw, it was, I'm here to win the WWE title. If he wins any other belt, if he wins this new belt, it's an admittance of defeat. That's it.
Yeah,
period.
I agree with you with that.
Period.
When it comes to that, yeah.
The only
like I like me personally, I like how the belt looks, but it does. It's like on some. Okay, we're gonna have this new shiny toy in front of you guys just to keep you occupied. And this dude, Roman Reigns, he's good. Like he could just be on you know what I mean, smooth sailing all the way to fucking next WrestleMania 40.
Pretty soon they're gonna chant "Drop the belts" at Rome.
The only people that should be challenging for the new belt are people that Roman never faced or people that Roman never beat. If anybody challenges for the belt that Roman has beat, it's just going to be looked at as less than. So I'm looking at the roster. I'm like, okay, he never beat Rollins. He's never faced LA Knight. He never faced Gunther. He never faced Sheamus in a one-on-one match. When Randy Orton comes back, he never faced Randy in a one-on-one match. So, like, this belt needs to just have new people.
He did face Randy.
I agree.
It needs to be new people that Roman has never faced or people that Roman has never beat. Because if you have people that not as a tribal chief, he hasn't. Not in this tribal chief run.
Yeah. Because I thought so too. I thought that Roman fought Randy on already, but he hasn't. Not in this new.
No, they were going to do it, but he got hurt. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, speaking of that new belt, that looks like a twin belt. That looks like a twin belt, a twin AEW belt. The way it looks, same structure and everything, same shape.
Like I like how the belt looks, though. Me personally, I like how it looks. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, some people online would disagree with you because I saw a picture on Twitter from NoDQ.com. And they're saying that belt is basically a sloppy booking by Triple H. But also, look, I didn't know Drew McIntyre signed a new contract. I'm kind of wondering if they're just showing his picture.
He did?
You know what I'm saying?
What I found out recently was apparently WWE doesn't own the rights to the World Heavyweight title. That's why they changed it. But I don't got anything against the new belt. It looks fine.
Wait, huh? Like how can somebody own rights to heavyweight and title? Those are
No, like the WCW design, they don't own the rights to it. That's why they didn't bring it back. That's what Triple H wanted to do, apparently, but they were.
So they went.
Going on, man? My boy Terrence Howard.
Bring back the original Big Goldie.
Yeah, that's what Triple H wanted to do, but they couldn't do it because they don't own it. And so what they did was they based the design off of it. You know, I don't mind it. You know, it's fine. You know,
Yeah, I like how it looks. I do. You know what it is?
I like it.
Like I was saying, like the fucking WWE logo is like smack dab in the middle of this shit. I understand. Like they could have did something maybe or hopefully that's like the prototype, and then when they finally present it again at Night of Champions, they'll make it look more better. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe that's a prototype to get a feel to see how people will react to it.
Right. What they need to do with Roman's belts is get rid of the Universal belt because that belt's cursed anyway. Just refer to him as the WWE champion and just give it a new design so he can just have one belt to clear confusion. That's what they need to do.
I'm kind of
That's what's supposedly
disappointed
gonna happen.
that Cody. Like Cody's not gonna come out with his new belt. Remember that belt that we was talking about, the Cody the Cody heavyweight title.
The one that was made, actually.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that was a real belt.
Fire as fuck. So that just scrapped that idea.
No, I'm sure that was a real belt. Wrestling companies have all kinds of belts just in storage, just sitting there, just waiting to be used.
Yeah,
like in AEW when they had the trios belts. I know TK said the trios belts were like in his office for like. I think the trios belts were made like at the beginning of 2021. So a lot of companies they just have like design belts. Like every company gets their belts made by like different factories and shit. So there's like different. Like stocks where they're just sitting there, just waiting to be used. Apparently, there's like a new U.S. belt design. There's a new Intercontinental belt design. There's new women titles designs. They're just sitting in that storage house, just waiting for someone to be like, okay, let's use them. We're just waiting. So I'm sure we'll be getting new tag titles. I'm sure we'll be getting those soon too.
Yeah,
they're probably waiting for Night of Champions to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Marcus Brown was saying. He was on your show the other night, or was it last night, Malik?
No, last Friday night. He was in the conversation.
Last Friday, last week.
On my Wrestling Topics 23.
Yeah, man. When you in the chat too, like when you go live, share it in the chat. You know what I'm saying? We will pull up and show love.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I shared it on Facebook. I was broadcasting on Facebook and on Twitter, so I figured y'all
I think it's best. I think it's better you share it in the chat because we all in the same group chat. So just share it there. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if I'm not if I'm not busy, I'll pull up. No problem.
Okay, I got you. As far as Drew McIntyre goes, I didn't know he signed a new contract, but Toph suggested that he signed it quietly. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's why this is their way of the draft is the way of reintroducing him and maybe giving him something. Like Toph said, he
got to turn heel.
Yeah, they fucked him. They fucked him.
Yeah, they fucked him actually. Yeah, they fucked him in the last year, the year before that, and everything. I mean, I think he's fought Roman Reigns like twice, and he didn't win. So
outside of the heel turn, there's nothing.
Got his psychopath is coming back.
Who coming back?
Didn't he fight like 3 times?
I think so. Yeah, several times. Yeah, with a feud. Yeah, and that never won.
And all the matches were good. Don't get it fucked up. All the matches were good.
And that's what I mean before when I said when Naito lost to Okada, he was never the same. He's still over, but he's not the same either. That's what happens when you build up a babyface, for a big match and they lose. And in Drew's case, it was worse because he lost in front of his own nation. It was like,
I remember that show. Yeah. And then now it's worse even for Cody because he lost because everybody expected him to win at WrestleMania, but that didn't happen, of course. So that new belt we saw was all for nothing. But like I said,
Nate, my bad, I didn't want to cut you off.
If he would win this belt,
hold on, Malik. Give me 1 second. Nate, you could still be in the chat, my dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? It sucks that I don't know why the hell your internet keep messing up, but you can still be in the chat. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to leave. Just stick around in the chat. I'll be reading your comments, Marcus comments, Terrence comments, whatever. Like you can still be a part of the show. It's all goody. Go ahead, Malik. My bad.
No, what I was saying was if Cody would have won this belt, this is what one of my buddies said on Twitter, saying if they be giving this belt, it's almost like a consolation prize, like here you go, to throw him a bone. So it's not gonna mean as much. I still like to see Cody beat Roman Reigns straight up. That's just me. Now, to me, for a second, let's talk about SmackDown tonight. Pretty good show. But
let's get to it.
Look, in the main event, when Paul Heyman said this is a Sokola's night, I was thinking Sokola was getting ready to go out there and give a spike to one of the Usos and something like that, to turn on him, something like that. That's why I had a feeling. But Matt Riddle came in and made the save. So and then Sammy and Kenny beat him straight up. So, And also, only 3 drafts from NXT.
My bad. Go ahead, Millie. Go.
No, I'm saying, look, only 3 drafts from NXT, 3 women. That doesn't sound too good. Because I don't see.
There's supposed to be more on Saturday.
And then Indy Hartwell, her ankle's in the boot too. So you drafted an injured star who can't really work right now.
She's gonna drop her NXT title.
Obviously, yeah.
Who, Roxy?
No, Indy Hartwell. They're talking about.
Oh, okay. So
I think there's more coming up on Saturday.
All right, so
what show's coming on Saturday for the WWE Draft?
All right, I got the
Hold on. Before you say that, Toph, I just want to read what Marcus Brown said. Then I'm gonna let you because you're gonna read the results and stuff from SmackDown.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
All right, so give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, technically Reigns did lose to Drew because he hit a Claymore on Reigns and Shane McMahon pinned him. What? When did that happen?
Huh?
You remember that?
No.
Shane McMahon pinned who?
Oh, you're talking about from 2018. That's what he's talking about. Okay.
Nah. We talking about this. You know what I mean? Like, fuck all the Roman Reigns shit from before. This dude's a completely different person now.
Yeah.
But go ahead, my dude. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just reading this stuff. All right, so the draft picks that were made today was Roman, Solo, and Heyman to SmackDown. Cody to Raw. Bianca, who's the Raw Women's Champion, to SmackDown. Becky Lynch to Raw. That was the first round. The second round was the Street Profits, both of them to SmackDown. Imperium to Raw, all 3. So Intercontinental title
that was a good
Raw.
one. Okay, I can see that.
Edge back to SmackDown. Matt Riddle to Raw. That was the second round.
Hold on, let's slow down. So you said Edge, he's going back home to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Imperium or Raw, that was a real good move. But now it's time for them to start collecting some gold. You know what I'm saying? Like, Imperium, these motherfuckers are brawlers. You already seen what they could do when it came to like the
Gunther's winning the title.
Motherfuckers like that. Go ahead. What you said on Black Star?
Gunther's gonna win the world title.
So then
I want that. I do, but here's the thing, right? These motherfuckers are sitting there saying that Gunther is boring. I'm like, how is he boring? Y'all the same motherfuckers that wants a legitimate heel, that don't run from people, that don't cheat. He's that. And he be legitimately fucking niggas up. It's the shit. Every person he finish a match with, their chest look like hamburger meat. And you say that shit is fucking boring. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, the third round, Drew McIntyre to Raw, Bobby Lashley to SmackDown,
Yep,
the Miz to Raw, and the entire OC to SmackDown. So that's Gallows, Anderson, Mia Yim, and AJ Styles.
She's still with them?
Yep. The fourth one, this is the last one on TV, Damage Control. All 3 to SmackDown.
How were they still this game?
I don't know. They should have broken them up.
Give it up.
Yeah. Nakamura to Raw. Indy Hartwell, who's the women's champion of NXT, to Raw. And 2 girls I've never heard of before, Alba Fire and Something Dawn. They're the NXT Women's Tag Champions.
Yeah,
SmackDown.
What's it, Alba Fire? I heard of Alba Fire. I heard of her.
And let me see what else is going on here. There's one more post. It's at the very top. Trying to see what it says here. It's like a list of names. I'm trying to find it. I'm on like a Twitter
Bobby
page.
Lashley makes sense to go against Reigns, being that he's the last person to pin him clean. Yeah, they just ghosting Bobby Lashley when it comes to Roman Reigns. And I think that's bullshit. I really do. Because let me fucking find out. Like, let me really find out. Like, y'all not trying to give Bobby Lashley that fucking smoke when it comes to Roman Reigns.
He's losing.
Is
Don't
Roman
worry.
Reigns,
I don't agree with the way
Is
they.
he just scared? Is he scared?
I don't agree with I don't agree with the way they've been booking him in general. I don't understand why he's wasting his time for the U.S. belt. He's above that.
He really is.
I don't like the shit they did with him and Brock, where like Brock just fucking like he low blowed him, and like that was just it. Like Lashley was just kind of like, oh okay, well all right, I'm just gonna just kind of ignore it. And they're like, no, like what?
Just like any other black champion, they lose to Brock and they just accept it. Like, okay, I'll go back to the mid card.
Well, he won the match via DQ, but I just didn't like how it was just shrugged off, like it didn't happen. Like Lashley should have been like, no, fuck this dude, and like he just moved on, like it didn't happen. Like they portray him like an idiot, basically. I don't like that. So, and it's not like the fans don't like him. Oh, okay, here's the list. This is what I was looking for right now. All right, it says the WWE Draft will continue Saturday morning with additional picks from those that were not picked tonight. And so the people that weren't picked tonight that were eligible include Candice LeRae, Chelsea Green, and Sonya Deville, Dexter Loomis, Dolph Ziggler, Hit Row, Lols, Lacey Evans,
Dolph Ziggler and Hit Row still got a job.
Mustafa Ali, Natalia, Almas and MVP, Viking Raiders, and Valhalla. So tomorrow those people will be, drafted wherever. So now what they used to do is this little thing called the undrafted rule, where to the people that weren't drafted could just pick whatever brand they want to be on. But I don't know if they're going to be doing that still or not. So
they won't.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. That's all the list right now. So Raw will be a different roster of people. So just based off the folks that were drafted and just knowing typical WWE, because Gunther was drafted to Raw, then that means Theory will be drafted to SmackDown because he's the U.S. champion.
Yeah.
Because Bianca was drafted to SmackDown, then that means Rhea will be drafted to Raw, which will probably keep the Judgment Day together, which means they'll do another stupid title exchange segment. Hopefully they don't throw the belt.
Oh God, please don't jinx that. Don't even jinx that.
Yeah.
So Marcus Brown
Ilya
said,
Dragunov.
I heard about Ilya Dragunov supposed to be getting called up. I think Dragunov should join Imperium.
Yeah, he's gonna go to Raw and join Imperium.
I think that makes sense. That's just me though. Well, and Black Star that he agrees. So Marcus Brown said SmackDown is stacked. Like, yeah, because from the looks of things, SmackDown got most of the motherfuckers out the draft.
They can even out the roster with Raw getting the most people on Monday.
Remember that shit, right? They definitely let people know, yeah, SmackDown is the new flagship show. We getting most of the stars.
No, they get Raw and this ball game over.
You got Lashley going there. Man, look, Lashley better fucking tear shit up on SmackDown. Yeah, Pretty Deadly too. I heard Pretty Deadly about to pull up.
Like, we never got Lashley versus Gunther. I so wanted to see that match. Never gonna see it. It's fucked up.
Yeah, that'll be a real slugfest. Well, when it comes to
versus Gunther.
All right, like for instance, like with this dude Lashley, I remember a lot of people didn't even like Lashley, but you can tell Lashley always tries his best to improve. Not like fucking homage. When's the last time you heard motherfucker catching Bobby Lashley at catering? The fuck out of here.
You gave up on him?
You never had Bobby Lashley. Oh, I had to pull Bobby Lashley for catering for a match. Hell no. Because my dudes stay hungry.
They gave up on Omos?
Well, shit. Not yet. As you can see, he's going to be fighting Seth Rollins. I don't know where. Like, how you lose
according to Triple H. According to Triple H, the draft goes live after Backlash. So
that makes sense. That does make sense because let's get this shit out of the way, get the old news out the way, and after Backlash, you start fresh. Makes sense.
Yeah, the reset.
But here's the thing: they gotta start making that World Championship look appetizing now. When they, after the Backlash,
Have it mean something.
yeah, like have motherfuckers not cut like full promos, but hint here and there and mention the shit, saying like, "Yo, I want to be the first ever to win that belt." Give us some prestige. You know what I'm saying? Throw a little seasoning on it. Don't just have them say nothing about the belt, and then now the champions come, and you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like, okay, who the fuck cares? You know what I'm saying? Nobody even asked for the belt. It's already getting protests right now as is. So it's time for these motherfuckers to try to get that belt over. Like what they did with the other gold belt. Remember?
Just based off, I mean, it's hard to tell because they'll be doing another draft. I mean, when people get drafted and shit. I would say the two top people that should be featured. I did mention earlier that everybody that faced Roman shouldn't really be in conversation for the belt. There is one exception to the rule. I think the premier feud should be Rollins and Balor. I think they should be it. And the reason I say it should be those two is because it's redemption for the Universal title. Because when they introduced the Universal title, if you remember, they did a tournament and the finals was Seth and Balor. Balor won, but then he got hurt the same night he won it.
Dislocated his shoulder.
Right. And Balor has never been the same since, at least on the main roster. He's never been in like the title picture ever since, not on the main roster. And so I feel like Balor being in the title picture, he's a dude, in my opinion, who doesn't need a mid-card belt. He doesn't need an intercontinental belt. He doesn't need a U.S. belt. And it's clear that he's not going to challenge for Roman's belt. So I think and I don't even fuck a Balor like that. So I'm like, you know what? This dude needs something. So if they gave it to him, I wouldn't be mad. So he's like the one guy Roman's beaten, where it's just like, okay, he's the exception to the rule. And then the other person is Rollins, because Rollins is a guy that Roman has not beaten. And Rollins has basically been, he's been in the Rollins has been with in the upper mid card purgatory for 3.5 years now. He's just ever since the shit with the Fiend in 2019, before COVID, before the world went to hell, he's basically just been doing mid card shit for 3+ years now.
But then they gave him the U.S. belt. They gave him the U.S. belt. He became a transitional champion with the U.S. belt.
Right. And then if you look at his real interviews, in real life, he's always talked about being frustrated on not being the guy and how he's never really been the guy of Raw. And then, he was a WWE champion. And when he was a WWE champion, he lost it because he was hurt, not because he got pinned or anything like that. He never did win that Universal title in that first tournament like he said he would. So there's a redemption story for both of those dudes. There's a story there for Rollins and Balor. So I will put
the Fiend was solely responsible for killing Seth.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I won't say the Fiend entirely.
He killed his damn self because he came a cringy ass face. And how you supposed to be a face, but online,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
And that's something he never really brings it up himself. But it has been a while. He's a dad now. He's a husband now. So let's hope he's matured some and maybe he can handle the pressure better. Because 2019 Seth was not it. It was not it at all. To this day, as much as I shit on Roman, as much as I don't care about Roman, one thing I'll always give him is when Roman's asked about Mox in interviews, he's cool. Roman keeps it short and sweet. Roman's like, hey, man, Mox is my brother. He did what he had to do. I love him. And he kept it simple. Whereas Seth was saying some shit like, oh, he's taking food off my table when he's a fucking face. That was dumb. It was stupid. So
this dude, Marcus Brown, said there's only 6 people at this point should pin Roman. Sokoa, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, The Rock, Braun Breaker, and AJ Styles.
Well, here's the thing. It's not gonna be AJ Styles. I know it's not. It's definitely damn sure not gonna be The Rock because The Rock ain't coming back. He's got too many.
Yeah, I'm over the. Yeah, I'm over this shit with The Rock. Like,
The only guy I see picking that, I would pick Solo. Have Solo pin him.
But Solo's turn's not gonna happen for a while.
I think what we should look out for is
but that's all you got, though.
I think what we should look out for is the Usos lost to Sammy and Owens, and of course the Usos were not drafted with Roman and the other members, and so
Solo's going to turn. Solo's going to turn on the Usos at Backlash.
Well, I mean,
he might turn on them before that. He probably was supposed to turn on. He was probably supposed to turn on him tonight, but Matt really ruined that. So
Yeah, if there's going to be a turn, it'll probably be on Monday because they're not even on the card, right? Wait, are they on the card? Is that the 6-man?
No, 6-man is going to be at Backlash.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, there you go then.
Well, how did Matt Riddle ruin Solo Sikoa?
No, Solo Sikoa's coming out to the ring. Matt Riddle came out there and fought him, but I think he got beat though. And then Solo Sikoa was watching from the from where they fought to when they lost. He was looking up there and shaking his head,
Right. So, I think
I'm thinking this is what I'm thinking. Like, okay, like if they was about to be disbanded, and Matt Riddle just came out of nowhere and stopped that, wouldn't that make Matt Riddle a fucking idiot?
Yeah, well, it's also an idiot booking. Like I said, so remember, this is SmackDown. It's Triple H booking. So,
it's like, yo, they about to fucking fall apart. Why are you stopping it? What the fuck?
Right. I think the big thing really is Money in the Bank, because to me, what Money in the Bank should be is it should be because I've ran it on Money in the Bank before, because Money in the Bank, it hasn't been shit in years, but what it should be is okay, let's get a new guy over and let's get this guy ready for a world title thing. But what they do with Money in the Bank now, as I've ran it before, is they don't use Money in the Bank as a way to get new shit over. Instead, they just use it for, okay, what's a good idea at the time? So it's possible that Solo could win, but what I think is more likely is if someone from the Bloodline wins Money in the Bank, it'll probably be Jay Uso, because that's how this shit started. It all goes back to Jay Uso, not Solo.
I like that idea.
Yeah, me too.
I like
the only
that
problem
idea.
The only problem is if you do that, it fucks over guys like LA Knight, who should be winning, because it's like the dude's over. But
yeah, he was over tonight. You notice how even though he was a heel, people would chant his name.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That like we don't want LA Knight to be the one to take out Roman Reigns, because then he'll be a face by default.
He kind of
is
a face
really. Anyway now, because
cheering him. So
right, yeah. See, the guy from the Brawling Boots was supposed to be the face. He's supposed to be the heel, but see, the fans like LA Knight. They just like his aura. They like his gimmick. They like how he talks. Like I said, I remember him playing from TNA when he let me talk to you. Yeah, that's where it started.
Like LA Knight's pretty as shit.
Yeah,
he was Eli Drake.
I can't stand that name, LA Knight. That shit fucking sucks.
He's smart. He's smart, because just in case they fuck him up. You know what? They didn't fuck up Eli Drake. They fucked up LA Knight. So it's secure. Right. I can't blame him. He's a smart dude.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, WWE has something to do with that also, because WWE, they always gotta shape and mold you into their own image. They're not gonna take you in as your indie name. They're gonna give you a new name.
Well, he probably took notes from EC3, saw what happened to him, and was like, no, that's what happened.
Well,
that's a good question. What did happen to EC3? ECM, ever since the controlling narrative played out and faded, he disappeared.
No, he's on NWA.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, speaking of stuff outside that, I saw that Trinity made her debut for Impact today. So big.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. I mean, it's not on TV where I'm at no more. I gotta watch it on the website on the replay.
I'll definitely make an effort to watch Impact to see what she's doing.
And speaking of Trinity Star, I don't get the the Sasha Banks hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to throw that out there. Like when it comes to Scott or this dude King Mike. What is the
Like
deal
Impact?
with Sasha
Impact
Banks?
works with New Japan. That's probably the reason why.
I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like like I said, to me, she seems like the one of the greatest chess players in wrestling. Period. Like she didn't like how she was being treated, and she waited out her contract, had her lawyers take care of that, and she got the fuck up out of Dodge because she was promised this and promised that. She didn't get what she was owed, and she boogied. A lot of motherfuckers never did that shit. They just stuck it up the ass. They was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take it anyway. Fuck it. I'm not getting what I want. I'm just gonna stay here and just suffer.
They don't like her. They don't like her because she knows her worth, and a lot of people just fucking, they just accept what's given to them, and it's like,
and for a black woman, I see black dudes come at her. Oh, she's selfish. She's this and that. How? How is she selfish? And let's really be real. You gotta be selfish in the fucking wrestling business. What motherfucker you know that wasn't selfish became a success? Other than Mick Foley.
Yeah, true.
But that's why I like Bianca.
Because Vince McMahon is very selfish.
Said no.
And then what's funny is like
Vince McMahon is very selfish.
And we're gonna
hold on. Let Black Star go first. We'll go clockwise. We'll go clockwise. Let Black Star go first, then Tophy go next, and then Malik.
That's why, I like Bianca. Bianca spoke up for herself during those races of pitches. She spoke up for herself. That's a good thing. Naomi speaking up for herself. That's a good thing. Sasha speaking up for herself. That's a good thing.
And what do they all have in common?
They're all black.
Exactly.
My sisters. That's right.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't want a red pill. I don't want a red pill because this is a wrestling chat. Because if I red pill this shit, we're gonna fucking go down the
rabbit hole. Why I keep telling you, yo, I'm about to get you out of here. Like what I told you, stop holding back. Say what the fuck you feel.
Look,
go ahead.
What it comes down to, bro, is a lot of black men don't like black women that know their worth. That's what it is. But then when they see a white chick that knows their worth, or a Latina chick that knows their worth, or an Asian chick that knows their worth, they find it sexy. But oh no. If a black woman knows their worth, they find that intimidating. That's what
they're ratchet.
That's what they don't like that. They don't
like
that.
Too ghetto. They don't like look right, in my opinion. Sasha Banks is too cocky. She thinks she's the Rock. She never said she thought she was the Rock. She never if anything, she was idolizing Eddie Guerrero, not the Rock. Like, what are y'all talking about? Come on, man. Like y'all gotta give respect when it's due. She left WWE and got a bigger bag. A lot of these motherfuckers ain't doing that shit. These motherfuckers will leave WWE when their contract is done, by the way, and go somewhere else and get less money. Just to rebuild their character. She went to Japan. She went to Japan as a fucking star, getting a big bag. And people want to say, "Oh, she's not doing nothing. She's not doing nothing." Dude, she's in Japan. You're not going to hear much what's going on in Japan out here. She's popping out there. Come on, y'all. Y'all, come on, well, be like, y'all got to start getting back to the black queens, man.
Of course, yeah. I all respect due to black queens. Here's the thing, though.
You go ahead, Luke.
No, like Tophin Black Star was saying, yeah, it's a good thing. In this day and age, it's a good thing. In these times, in these political times, it's a good thing. Years ago, speaking up in WWE, you wound up in the doghouse, and which was one step to losing your job. But see, you can speak up now because with the political time, especially with racism and everything, yeah, WWE is going to give these black stars what they want because they don't want to look like racists anymore especially in the market in the marketing, especially with their fans, because they have a lot of black fans as well as white fans. Of course, they have Hispanic fans. That's why they're pushing the LWO now again. You notice tonight on SmackDown, you had Zelina Vega, DDT, and Rhea Ripley, and got out of the ring because she could face Ripley at the pay-per-view, but of course she's not gonna win, probably not. So it's like the minority is becoming the power. They're getting more power a bit because it's the time to play correct times now.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Any racism you do is going to have huge backlash on WWE now.
Yeah,
Okay,
we talked about
Marcus
that.
Brown. How is she a headache, Marcus Brown? Like I'm just trying to understand what's going on.
I kind of agree with that in a way. Now she does have an ego because, like, especially back in America, when fans were seeing her on the street and she's walking, she would just walk by them like they don't even exist and ignore them. If she's even going to hold on.
Wait, hold on. Say that one more time.
What do you say?
Say that one more time.
No, I remember seeing the footage of where a fan saw on the street because she was wearing a mask, and I think he had a thing, some for the sign. This was on the street. No, this was at the airport. It was on the street. He saw her like in the city, and she just walked past. She just walked right past him like he didn't exist.
I don't like. What did he try to run up on her, get an autograph?
No, he was standing there. He was standing there. She was walking. And he saw her, and he had something for the sign. If I could find it, I could link to it if I could find it again. But all she did was walk right past him like he didn't exist. He wasn't trying to follow her or beg her this kind of thing. No, he was standing there. I guess they know excuse me.
If he was just standing there, what was she supposed to do? I'm trying to understand.
Well,
he was just standing there.
She could have acknowledged him. But she didn't know. Maybe it was because of where it was at, and it wasn't an autograph signing. Like where you stand in line and get an autograph, or you got to pay some money. So I just think that and the thing is, I've seen her do that. I've heard stories of her doing that all the time to the fans on the street. Unless it's autograph signing or an appearance, which is getting paid.
God.
So it's kind of mean. It's kind of mean to me. That's why I don't like it. I respect
on social media. I see folks on social media, and it's like the thing before I said before. It's like people always want to do it when it comes to black women. People on social media are already trying to cause a seat of dissent, saying shit like, "Oh, I guess Sasha and Trinity aren't like homegirls. She didn't have anything for her, and blah 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 blah." And I'm like, I'm looking at it a different way. It's like because the way it is right now, like Bianca, Trinity, and Sasha, or Mercedes. I'm sorry, Bianca, Mercedes, and Trinity. All three of them can cook. They can dominate in their own world now. Bianca can dominate in WWE. Mercedes can dominate in Japan. Trinity can dominate in Impact. So now we got three black queens that are going to dominate three different brands all at the same time. That's unheard of. Like that's
true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
This is why I fucks with you, Toph. Talk your shit. Like, go ahead.
That's what we need. We need more diversity. We need to have more black women winning championships and shit like that. So I can't see this as any more than a bad thing, because imagine what happens, because what's going to happen originally. Imagine what happens when Trinity becomes a bigger star and Impact, Mercedes becomes an even bigger star than she already is, and then when they both go back to WWE, say 2 years from now or 3 years from now, then you can have Bianca, Trinity, and Mercedes all team up and actually be a decent girl faction, unlike whatever the fuck this control shit is with Bayley that's not working. So,
like what Marcus Brown said, it could be the female version of the Hurt Business.
Yep.
And they should have reformed the Hurt Business, boy. I swear they missed the boat on that.
The female version of the Hurt Business. There you go. All black women with dress suits, whatever. They looking good, looking beautiful, looking sexy, and they could whip your ass in the ring. Come on, that's right. You know what I mean? The build up.
But that's really what it's about. But that's really what it's about, man. Really, what it is just a lot of black fans. They don't like black women in general that know their worth. Because a lot of
that's not me.
I know you're not. I know you're not that way.
Hold on, Marcus. And Marcus said she's a headache because she treats her fans like crap. Look, here's the thing, right? And I said this from before multiple times. There's fans out there that are fucking creeps. They would want to hug up on the women wrestlers and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
I hear that. You're right. I mean, and like the ones at the airport, that in 4 a.m, that's not right. No, see, if you up at 4 a.m, and you're not sleeping or you don't have a job, it's something wrong. You need to be asleep or at least working somewhere, making your own money. But the guy I saw, and it was a white guy too. He wasn't hugging up on her. He was just standing there. He just said, "Excuse me," because he saw her walking by, and he had a thing out where he wanted to say, "Excuse me, can you sign it?" That's what he said, and she just walked
This
past.
always been.
I thought
this
that was kind
always
of mean.
been-
What
It's
the hell?
always
That's
been my
completely
thing.
random. What the fuck?
This-
Not you, Malik.
Okay.
Never watched.
Oh, yeah,
What-
JD yeah,
how
JD
did we get to
is racist.
JD? Y'all need to leave JD alone. That's another
He is
thing,
racist,
y'all.
though. He is racist. I remember when JD got exposed that one time when what was it? It was a Dynamite. Yeah, we talked about it. It was on Dynamite when Samoa Joe faced Suzuki, Japanese legend, and then JD acted like JD was like, "Who the fuck is Suzuki?" and just making a bunch of. It was a fucking.
Oh please! How many times I be saying Japanese jokes like that? Y'all think I'm racist too?
No,
I just say
no.
racist jokes. That don't mean
He
I
just
hate
got
them.
exposed that day. But
Come
the
on,
Sasha
man.
thing,
Oh.
but the
I wouldn't say
Sasha
racist
thing,
joke,
I've
period.
always,
I mean,
I've always said this
when
about
it comes to
Sasha.
racism, it's not a joke. That's a negative connotation about a person doing race. That's why that's not funny.
Oh please!
Oh, but
Man,
when
That's
it
my
comes to
opinion. I mean, I
Sasha,
respect
I've
you.
always
Right,
said
if
this.
it's too
I feel,
crazy, all right. Because I ain't gonna lie, like I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. If a racist joke is creative and not offensive, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because we all get it from Hogan, yeah. When he said that little tidbit right there, we all got a little racism in us. All of us.
Well, I think Terry Bollea was a racist all along. Anyway, he just knew how to hide it until he got caught.
Yeah, but all the extra shit, I wasn't. All that other bullshit he was saying, I wasn't for all that. But yeah, we all like. Matter of fact, I say prejudice. Let me rephrase that. We all got a little prejudice in us because we will just see a particular nationality and select, like a Japanese person. Oh, you know karate. You gotta know karate. Like just because I'm Japanese, I know karate. Well, we don't mean nothing by it. It's just a joke.
I just want to say the Hogan shit, the stuff he said back then, that didn't offend me at all. But what I will say is that as I explained earlier, I never cared about him. I always knew the eat your vitamins and say your prayer stuff was not who he was.
Was a bunch of bullshit.
I always knew it was fake.
Because he admitted to taking steroids.
Right. So when those comments leaked and when I heard about it, all those comments did to me, all it did was it just justified, okay, so I wasn't paranoid into thinking this dude was always fake. You know, because outside of wrestling, like, you know, at some point, right, like when you're in school or when you're at your job, like you meet that one dude that like everybody fucks with, but there's just this party, it's just like, man, this dude's fake. You know, we've all met a dude like that before. Like, you see, I'm not buying what this dude's selling. Like, I always knew this dude was fake. I always knew it. So when he said that shit, I was just like, I fucking knew it. It just justified me to never liking him.
And the thing is, he got caught saying it on a sex tape. I mean, the dude's wife, that guy, SpongeBob, willingly gave him permission to see his wife, and then he filmed it. And that's where he said, I'm like, what the hell?
Yo, man, WWE all-time top 5 moments. I swear to God, this is like top 3 WWE moment of all time. When they did COVID Mania, not last year or the year before, the one in 2021, the one where they had Joe dressed up like a fucking condom where it was raining. I'll never forget. They had fucking Hogan come out there with Titus O'Neil just so the fans wouldn't boo him, and they still booed the shit out of Hogan. Oh my god!
Of course, yeah, because everybody knows what kind of person he is now. Because you notice you don't hear him mention he makes appearances because he owns a restaurant now. That's one thing you see him on social media doing is his restaurant. I saw a picture of his restaurant. He still wears a black bandana and an NWO shirt. But yeah, and even Titus O'Neil didn't want to be out there with him, and you could tell because, like I said, he didn't even stand all that close to him at all. He had some space between them because I think Titus even Titus disliked him. And you know who really disliked him? Even when he tried to apologize, the whole entire New Day, they despised him.
Yeah, they all left.
Great. That was great. They all left during the Hall of Fame. That was great.
Oh, they did. Damn, I should have watched. I missed that. I should have watched that. Damn.
Yeah.
That shows
Snyder
you
should have went through with this threat.
Big E was smiling the whole time. Then Hogan came out. He was like, "Nah." Even Big E was like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, he wasn't with it, and I feel him.
I wouldn't either.
How you just go on a random racist rant during fucking the bitch?
I swear.
He never apologized.
Like this dude,
either.
like
All
you a whole weirdo.
He never apologized either. He only said, "Just be careful what you say because you could be."
Right.
Well, I heard he apologized because I heard one of his last appearances. He tried to apologize to wrestlers. I think he tried to apologize to New Day, but
No, he didn't. He didn't apologize to nobody.
I heard he did
just
backstage.
I
heard
he just said just make sure you don't get caught.
no. What I heard was he
everywhere.
went on an apology campaign because he even tried to apologize to the New Day. They just didn't accept it. I've heard he tried to
Well, I'm
apologize.
telling you, we telling you he did not try to apologize.
Well, I hear you. Okay, I just heard different.
What's sad?
And
What's
the thing
sad
is,
was that
no, the thing is,
that-
I did a video on. Sorry to. Okay, I'm gonna finish this point. I'm gonna let you go. Look, and here's the thing. I did a video on that, and I even told Hogan right on Twitter. I even tried to because he blocked me. I said, "You're not sorry you said it. You're white ass sorry you got caught.
Right.
You're not sorry. Not sorry you said it. You're sorry you got caught."
You know, the sad part is
Right.
the sad part is like the dude, he had like a fucking it's almost similar to Roseanne. You know Roseanne. Remember when she fucked up when she made that?
Yeah, with the Nazi
like,
shit.
I remember that shit.
I never watched Roseanne. I never watched her
Me
show because it
neither.
wasn't.
Me
My
neither.
mom used to watch that shit.
I never thought she was funny either.
But when it happened, I find that shit. I'm not even trying to be morbid, right? Like when that shit happened with Roseanne, like I find shit like that like so fucking fascinating because it's like, okay, you're a legend in the industry that you come from. You get brought back for a show. It may not be good as the show you had, but it brings in good numbers. You're a legend. Your show is one of those shows that's like Family Matters or The Cosby Show, but they're just going to show reruns forever. So basically, it's like you're in this position where like you're set for life.
Syndication.
Right, like you're in a position where you're set for life. So it's like when you're in a position where you're set for life, it's like you don't gotta work a day in your fucking life. You can just fucking eat junk food for the rest of your life and you'll be good. All you gotta do is don't fuck up. And when Roseanne went on Twitter and she did that one tweet, it's just so fascinating when I see someone just absolutely ruin 30 years of their legacy in fucking 5 minutes with one tweet. And Hogan was in the same position because I remember they brought back Tough Enough. I don't watch Tough Enough. I never cared about Tough Enough, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's television you can consume for WWE. He was one of the judges on the show, and it's like, bro, that's an easy gig.
I remember that shit. Yeah,
but it's like he was an easy gig. Like all you gotta do is you show up, you say some whatever stuff, you get paid, easy. I remember when they hired Kenta. When he was Hideo Itami and they had Hogan like as the ambassador, they sent him over to Japan. So when Kenta signed the contract, Hogan gave him the contract and he introduced them. So he was like basically he was an ambassador for WWE. Like every time there was a new show or something, they would just call Hogan. It's like, bro, like all you got to do is just show up, do what they tell you,
say brother,
and you're set for life. Don't do anything, don't say anything, and he fucked it up. How do you fuck that up? It's just I find it so fascinating.
Say what you gotta do.
Wrestling, right? Whether
That's
it's
what I'm saying. I mean, all these years,
celebrities,
brother. Let me tell you something, brother. Bro, you ain't nobody's brother. Please get the fuck up out of here with that shit.
He would say, nigger.
That's way out. You know.
Let me tell you something, nigger.
I know what I call him. I saw the show called "Lifestyles of the Rich and the Racist."
You know what I'm not looking forward to? You know what I'm not looking forward to, and I'm trying to be morbid. You know, Jerry Springer passed away the other day. I was really sad. I was always a big Jerry Springer fan.
Yeah, like that.
I'm not looking forward. Like seriously, this is gonna be morbid. I'm not looking forward to the day Hogan croaks. I'm really not. I'm not looking forward to social media that day. That's gonna be a fucking clusterfuck because it's always.
It's gonna shut down.
You do know Hogan's going directly to hell.
As is Vince McMahon.
Man.
Yo. Hogan's gonna die.
Lock shit down. Hogan's gonna be popping for like a good week.
Yo, Hogan's gonna die, and then he's gonna fucking go to heaven, and God's gonna be like, "Doesn't work for me, brother." Doesn't work for me. I'm not looking forward to the hot takes. I'm not looking forward to the podcast because Hogan's gonna have an abstract next to his name for the rest of his life now because he'll always be the biggest name in wrestling. But like, dude, he was a piece of shit, you know.
That's true, but I think when he dies, that might all go out the window too, because everybody's there's gonna be no condolences and Troy Boots and everything like that. You know, it's like,
oh man,
you know,
What's the tribute going to be like for WWE when they do the 10-bell salute? Like, I hope they're not in the Black City when it happens.
Yo,
Jesus Christ.
That's true. Yeah, whatever you
man.
do, you know this WWE never did a show in South Central LA.
Yeah, dude. I gotta
they're
figure
gonna
out
have
how
the
to
roster.
put fucking was it like when you have a podcast or something and you have like different sections of what you talking about
Yeah.
in the search. You know how they have like different brackets of when you have a podcast and they have like different brackets of what they're talking about during the podcast. They're not a thumbnail. It's something else. Timestamp.
Yeah, timestamp. Yeah.
I gotta figure out how to do that shit because we be speaking some wicked shit.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. And it's interesting too because like every time a legend dies, they get the roster to stand on stage and wear some kind of shirt. Like I can't see like the New Day out there with a Hogan shirt or Bianca Belair with a Hogan shirt or Carmelo Hayes with a Hogan shirt. I don't fucking see it. I don't see it.
They won't show
Carmelo's not black, actually. She's Hispanic too. Hispanic, half white. She technically she isn't black, so I wouldn't count her.
Right.
But you're right, though. You're right. Look at this: the New Day and Bianca. If Hogan would have passed away in the next, like, let's say, next couple of days, something like that, and I think the New Day would just not be on stage. They're saying, okay, we're sorry he's dead. But
if that dude Vince cut the check, if Vince cut the check, they will definitely go on stage and twerk for Hogan.
Not if they have a conscience, and not if they won't.
I don't believe. In all seriousness, though, I don't believe Hogan is a racist, but he's definitely a prejudiced person, without a doubt. Obviously.
Well, prejudice and racism is, to me, go hand in hand. That's the same thing to me.
Yeah. Like, and I said, that's what I was saying. Like, I think we all got a little bit of prejudice in us because we look at a person and we'll just assume. We always make the assumption.
Well, technically saying, man, a prejudice came from. Well, I'm not going to go into that, right? If I was going, I'm going on my channel. Like I said.
Yeah, make sure y'all sub to the Malik channel. Be word up.
No, I mean I could go into that, but I'm not going into here because I don't want to start an argument. It's like this. I got historical points from my Black History books of where prejudice and racism.
Yeah, look, like I said, look, you saying certain arguments and stuff, man. Look, as long as the conversation is you building or whatever, ain't no fuck shit. Yeah. Nobody's not being disrespectful. I don't care about that because we're not always gonna agree, and that's what brings in good conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like with wrestling is a very subjective entertainment sport. It's very subjective. So
that's for damn sure, but mostly it's scripted.
and I understand now. You know what I'm saying? There's motherfuckers out there that just can't take it. They have their own opinion, and then somebody else come out with their opinion, and then you quick to block. And that's how you feel. I'm blocking you. That shit is corny as hell. Because it's like, you know what I mean? Your opinion is in law when it comes to wrestling. Everybody got their own opinion.
When you guys were talking about Sasha earlier, we were talking about Black women knowing their worth, or just people knowing their worth in general. On the opposite spectrum of that, I've mentioned Sasha before. All I really got to say about her is, from the very beginning when the 4 horsewomen were established in NXT, and when all of them were, on the main roster, I've said for years that between Sasha, Bayley,
you always have a question, Marcus.
Between Sasha, Bayley, Charlotte, and Becky, I've always said that pound for pound, the best performer of the horsewomen was always Sasha. There was nothing that she can't do. I've even gone as far as to, and I'm not putting her on the same level, but what I'm saying is that I've compared Sasha to Trish Stratus, because some people say that Trish Stratus is the best women's wrestler, and I don't think Trish is the best women's wrestler. But what I will say is that I understand why people say that, because Trish could do anything. She could be a face, she could be a heel, she could be a manager, she could
Sasha's
be an
more
announcer. Right, but what I'm really saying is that Sasha has no weak points. There's nothing she can't do. Everything that the company asked her to do, she did. and she never had bad matches of anybody. She was the only person to consistently get good matches out of Nia Jax. And to me, for that alone, she deserves the whole world, because not even Charlotte could do that. Charlotte and Nia got into a shoot fight on Raw, remember?
Yeah,
And
briefly, I saw that shit. Yeah, this right before Nia got released too. They started shoving back. But you notice now, Nia is taking health tips from Charlotte on Twitter. You know, you see those pictures she posted about, with her losing weight. Oh, and speaking of Nia, I think not just Sasha, but I think every woman has had a better match than Nia Jax. At least they haven't hurt their coworkers. That's a good thing about everybody else,
right?
Because Nia Jax was known for demolishing her coworkers on a nightly basis.
But I always thought that Sasha was the best pound for pound of the 4 horsewomen. I always thought that she was the best performer they had in the women's division. But when you looked at the main roster, like Sandman said, of the 4 horsewomen, or of the 4 horsewomen, she was the only one that never got a run. Bayley would get runs, Charlotte would get runs, Becky would get runs, and like the way that they would book her, you know, there's this dude, and I know there's a little joke between Nate and I. One of our favorite jobbers was this guy in WCW named Brad Armstrong. You know, good worker, Brad Armstrong. But Brad Armstrong, he was the guy to make someone else look good. He was never the guy getting the push, and like that was the push they always gave Sasha. She was always there to make someone else look good. And then when you look at
the Road Dogg was the one that got the push.
Right. And then when you look at the way that Sasha markets herself and the way she carries herself, I was like, she's way more marketable than Bayley, Charlotte, and everybody else there. And then when AEW became a thing, as we've talked about several times, when they were going against NXT, they made Charlotte the champion, you know, in hopes that, okay, it'll increase the ratings, when it was the opposite. And then every time Sasha and Bayley went down there, the ratings would go up. I always remember that one particular night when NXT beat AEW. I remember the main event was Sasha against Io. And I think the main event that day on AEW was Omega and Hangman versus the Best Friends during COVID. But the point is that if you just look at if you look at Sasha's history from the very beginning to the end, she's always been a numbers mover. She's always been a merch mover. She's always been a draw. But WWE never booked her like she was. They would book Charlotte like she was, even though she's not. Mm-hmm. They would book Bayley like she was, even though she's not. Now Becky is a draw. She's not as big as a draw as she was like 3-4 years ago. So I'll give you that. Becky is a draw, but she's not a better performer than Sasha is. And so it just got to a point where like she just was like, fuck it. And she did what many others before her did. She did like what, you know, Christian did, what Lashley did, what Drew did, what Gail Kim did, what Mickie James did. Like she was just like, you know what, fuck this, I'm out. And she left and was like, I'm gonna go.
You see what Marcus Brown said? Like, really, my dude?
Bro, because of Soraya's injury, she was gonna get hurt regardless. It just happened to be Sasha. Bro.
Yeah, it was a freak accident. And how you say Sasha Banks be botching too? What matches are you watching? Are you
well, I actually, no, look, in his defense, Sandman, all respect to you, in his defense, a lot of fans think Sasha botched that move that injured Saraya.
It was an accident. It was only one. I can say she botched so much over one accident.
If it wasn't Sasha,
yeah, Nia Jax had caused a few accidents herself. I mean, she was a walking accident.
We not talking about Nia Jax. We're talking about Sasha Banks.
If it wasn't
how can you compare Nia Jax to Sasha Banks?
True that. I'll give you that. But I'm saying, as far as that one incident, you know, some of the best wrestlers have accidents. Bret Hart said it on.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And Sasha, I believe. I believe Sasha messed up on that night. I mean, that's
Soraya's body was shot, bro. If it wasn't
Sasha maybe botching too much, my dude.
No, I'm talking about just that one time. I ain't talking about all the time. Just that one time.
What?
Did Charlotte botch more than Sasha?
Yeah, Charlotte botches all the time. She always hits that moonsault that never connects.
Yeah, that moonsault's be looking crazy. What?
Yeah, well, she can't wrestle too well anyway. No, not to me anyway.
Yeah.
Oh God!
See, the reason why people think Charlotte's good. The reason why people think Charlotte's good. See, Charlotte athletically, she's a great athlete. She's the most athletic of all the girls there. But my big knock on Charlotte has always been she's a great athlete, but she's a bad storyteller. In her matches, she doesn't tell stories. It looks cool and it looks pretty, but if you analyze
that Rhea match was really good though.
Right. The Rhea match was like the exception to the rule. But like for every good Charlotte match, I can show you one where like she's not telling a story. Like when she beat Asuka at WrestleMania all those years ago,
Oh,
I
good lord.
wasn't mad that
Oh
I wasn't
God,
mad
I
that
was
she beat
so
Asuka.
pissed. And then
Right,
Oscar's over here acting all happy. Like, yeah,
Right, I
we
wasn't
all ready
mad
for
that she beat
Oscar.
Asuka. What I was mad at was the fact that she beat Asuka with the figure 8, despite the fact that she didn't work on Asuka's leg the entire match. If you go back and watch that match,
Yeah, I remember that match was
she doesn't work on a body part. She doesn't tell a story. But if you just look at the athleticism of it all and like the pageantry of like what she is, then you can look at her and I can see why somebody could think, oh, she's the GOAT. But
Like
once you look,
like she's a terrific athlete. Like there's no question.
Right. But once you look past the athleticism and the pageantry and you just study the in-ring, she's not telling a story. She never tells a story. But that doesn't mean she's bad.
And I keep on saying this about Charlotte. Who did she put over? Truly.
Right.
Who did she
Nobody.
put over?
In fact, everybody she faces goes down the card. You know, and at a certain point, you can't put all that on creative because she clearly is at a point in her career and she's at a point in her totem pole where she clearly has enough pull to walk up to Vince Triple H and be like, nah, like we shouldn't do this. You know, like you can't tell me top stars don't have pull. And she hasn't said anything. So the fact that she hasn't said anything, that tells me she's cool and she's content with it. So that's even more of a reason why I was like, okay, like I fuck with Sasha when she left because she was like, fuck this. You know, she saw how political it was and she left. But anyway, we're ranting. We're beating a dead horse. It's like y'all said.
Marcus Brown, you're killing me. Marcus Brown, you're killing me. My dude, you are batting like 0 for 5 right now.
Oh my, okay.
What the hell? Who wants to see a match like that, sir? Who wants to see that? Charlotte and Becky versus Trish and Lita? Really?
No, I don't see that. I don't see where that match would make it would have a point to that.
Who wants to see that?
Well, athletically, it probably would be good athletically, but I'm talking about as far as storyline. You have to have a storyline to build to that.
I think the biggest karma of Vince's entire career as a booker, as a promoter, the biggest karma that Vince ever got was when Sasha and Naomi had enough of the bullshit and they just fucking left. They were like, fuck this.
Right.
And then Vince tried to pull their unprofessional, basically trying to make them look like ungrateful black bitches. And then a week later.
And made Michael Cole say it.
Right.
Right.
Like
and
they
then
piled on. Hold on, so nah, we're not gonna gloss over that shit. Like, yo, they piled on. They had these motherfuckers broadcasting that shit on TV. Oh, they unprofessional. All this other extra shit towards these black women because they was tired of the fuck shit. But when Brock did the same thing, y'all niggas ain't have shit to say. Nothing.
The double standard.
When the dude Vince retired and this dude Brock said, I'm out, none of these motherfuckers said a peep. Y'all niggas is fucking pathetic.
Like
and
Michael
a week later,
Cole
Vince
probably
got exposed for being a sex offender. I just thought that was karma.
Michael Cole was probably smiling ear to fucking ear when Vince left.
Yeah.
It was like we all celebrated. You know, we was up there.
The thing is, you don't have Vince's. Go ahead.
Like we all knew, like we all celebrated, but we all knew, like, nah.
Yeah, it was temporary.
It was a little bit.
It was very temporary.
Like he didn't put up no fight. You know, Vince is normally putting up a fight. He just bowed down too easily right there.
Right, yeah, you know he's coming back. This one temporary. It's kind of like the Matrix. You know, when Smith was destroyed, he came back in the second one, making a copy of himself. That's what this is. Vincent Man looks like his own line. Agent Smith.
Watch, I was talking to Nate about this. When Vincent Man, you know what I mean, when he's gone, he's dead and buried, whatever. His android is gonna automatically activate and continue on the operations of WWE.
Yeah, his clone. Yeah,
that's what it's really fucked up. But in a way, Sasha and Naomi have secured the positions of future black talent because now WWE knows that they got to treat blacks better. That's why I'm not worried about Bianca. Bianca's gonna be fine because they know.
You really want to treat them better? Reform the hurt.
Bianca's gonna be a god. Wait till she officially turns heel. Wait till that happens.
I want to see.
Beyonce's
I want to
gonna
see
be a
Montez
goddess.
Ford turn heel and break up the Street Profits because you put him on SmackDown.
We talked about it several times. A lot of fans just feel uncomfortable. Like racial politics are a thing in wrestling. Like wrestling is politics. Like it's okay to
Racial politics is everywhere in entertainment.
right.
We all that's everywhere.
Now look, if they want to treat blacks better, reform the Hurt Business. That's why that's even better.
And that's what I was
not
talking
gonna
about.
happen.
That's what I was talking
Vince
about.
isn't going to allow it.
But see, right there, that's
you
racism.
know,
There,
Vince
see?
is definitely back. Vince
It's like they're giving blacks a little leeway, but they won't reform a black faction for what? Okay, so it's still racism right
Well,
there.
according to Ahmed,
Triple H is all for it, as you see. Triple H is all for it.
According
He's for
to
it, but
Ahmed
Vince is not. That's
Johnson
the problem.
well, according to Ahmed, and you always take Ahmed with a grain of salt because I know Ahmed fucked up, but no one has ever disputed. Nobody from the nation ever disputed what Ahmed said, and I look back at it and I don't see a reason for him to lie. Ahmed said this in a shoot many years ago, where he said that one of the most racist moments he ever experienced was he said that one day he was in the back. And apparently, like Vince was just watching, tape of his show. So this would have been like '97 when Ahmed joined the Nation. So I think at this point, the Nation was like Farouk, D-Lo,
The Rock,
Kama Mustafa. No, The Rock hadn't joined yet. The Rock joined later. It was Ahmed.
Oh, really?
Farouk, D-Lo, Kama Mustafa. It was like
Well, the
4 or 5
Godfather
black
later.
Right. And so then, Vince was talking to Patterson, and Ahmed said he overheard it, and Vince was like, "I got to break these dudes up." And then Pat was like, "Why?" And then Vince was like, "Look at this. How is anyone supposed to believably beat this group?" So I guess Vince was trying to say that, like, when you have a group of like intimidating, strong black men, like he felt there wasn't anyone on the roster believable enough that could beat them, and so he was trying to break up the Nation. And then if you remember, Ahmed got kicked out not long after, and then they replaced him with The Rock. So according to Ahmed said that back then, as early as '97, Vince was trying to break up the Nation. But if you remember, the Nation went on to '98 at least, so it went on another year. But so Ahmed was saying that Vince was trying to kill off the Nation even sooner. Now, again, no one's ever confirmed the story, but no one ever denied it either. So it wasn't like Farouk or it's not like Ron Simmons or Godfather or anyone said, "Oh, that's bullshit." They never disputed the story. So I think that's telling,
I believe it. Yeah, you know what? I bet in the real fight, probably nobody in the back could probably beat them brothers either. See what I mean? Because they were strong. So you can tell. Cause I know I can tell D-Lo can fight probably for real. I know Godfather can probably throw down, but Ron Simmons, who's a former football player, and Ahmed Johnson, who comes from the Pearl River. Pearl River, Mississippi, where that is. Yeah, they can probably a legit fight. So it's probably what Vince probably saying was his mind was, I need to break these niggers up. That's probably that's what he was saying.
Pretty much. That's why the Hurt Business.
That's what he was. Yeah.
Right. That's how it is with black groups. Like the way it is with blacks in WWE is like they'll give us something, but like they're never going to give us like the whole steak. They'll give us like a piece of the steak. Because I've always said the Hurt Business was like one of the few positives. It was one of the few bright spots.
And they had merch. I was about to buy a shirt. Now I can't find a shirt. I'm like, damn, I want to get a shirt.
Because Lashley is a legit badass. He's got MMA credentials, and people sleep on Shelton too. Shelton is he's a college athlete.
Yeah,
as well.
He's a collegiate wrestler.
Yeah, because Kurt Angle. Remember the All American team? That was Kurt Angle put Shelton and Charlie Haas together.
Yeah, the was it America's Greatest Tag Team?
Yeah.
And people sleep on MVP because MVP is older, but he's got like training and like all kinds of jujitsu and shit.
Yeah. He's actually a ninja.
He's older, but look, he was
jiu-jitsu. Yeah,
he was the manager and the talker for the Hurt Business, so he was good. He was good at where he was.
The only person in the group that wasn't a legit tough guy was Cedric. But if Cedric's hanging out with Lashley, MVP, and Shelton, surely they have to be doing sparring sessions in private, teaching him some shit. So I wouldn't want to fuck with him either, even though he's smaller. So I just thought the collection of Lashley, Shelton, Cedric, MVP, it was too badass, and it was just
it was Chef's kiss, man.
And look, you could have added Bianca and Trinity to that mix at one time too.
Yeah, they should have been did that. They should have been had like
Yeah, to me, they were the first victims of Roman because what it came down to was that Vince made the decision that he wanted the bloodline to be the coolest thing in the company. And for that to happen, that means that any other group had to be killed off. And that's why they broke up the Hurt Business for no fucking reason. So it's stupid.
Hating.
But
Everybody was like, why did y'all do that? Everybody said that. Nobody didn't like that move.
it was dumb too because WWE had kind of given up on factions after the Shield. And so the Hurt Business was really like the first real, genuine, actual faction in years.
Yeah, and they were a breath of fresh air too, and they were awesome. They were awesome.
Yeah, and they was holding it down during the pandemic. There was actually something legitimately entertaining during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
I know Raw Underground wasn't very good, but I always remember that one week when
I was just trying to bring that up. See, you bring it up. I did it
when they went there and they just fucked up everybody. That was cool.
Yeah, like man, the Hurt Business, they just because Vince he does shit on purpose. He can't be that out of touch. He's just a real spiteful dude.
He ain't a touch. He's a spiteful dude. He's just a cracker. He's like the rest of them.
Yeah,
well, he's always like that. Like if you notice, right? Like I'm surprised they didn't break up the Street
hold
Profits.
on. Hold on. I can't say the rest of the because you can't sit there and say all white people are racist now. Let's pull that back. Let's bring that back.
The majority of them are though. You gotta admit that.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. I won't allow you to do that. Come on now, don't do that.
We know what I mean. I'm talking about as far as history goes, historically.
Yeah, but now
it's getting better. WWE and wrestling in general is more progressive now, but WWE is still at a point where they're still not going to give us everything. Like one of the things I've noticed about Bianca Belair and the Street Profits, like I see that the Street Profits were drafted together, so they didn't break them up. Okay, so they'll be together for now. But one of the things that's weird is, if you notice, there's never been a period where Bianca and the Street Profits are both being pushed at the same time. It's always been Bianca's doing something and the Street Profits are just there, or the Street Profits are doing something and Bianca's just there. There's never been a period where it's like they're all getting championships at the exact same time. It's always, we'll give you a little bit, but we're not going to give you the whole steak. It's like when you order in at a restaurant and it's like you can't even finish. Like, okay, we're going to order out. But then when you order out, they give you half the steak instead of giving you the full steak. So they're still not at that point yet where they're giving us everything, but it's getting more progressive now. And there's no shame in acknowledging that. It's just some wrestling fans, they get uncomfortable and they don't want to acknowledge that racial politics are a thing. Like, no, like racial politics, they are a thing. They're real. Every company does it and it's okay. Yeah. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if
it's always been around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's been around even from before, during the Hulk Hogan days. If anything, it was more blatant at that time.
Mm-hmm.
You had motherfucking Colonel Mustafa, aka the Iron Sheik. You had this dude Sergeant Slaughter joining these dudes during the Gulf War? Was it?
The Gulf War. Yeah. What was he? He was a sympathizer. A sympathizer. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had remember this dude? What's his dude name? Colonel De Beers. This dude was mad racist.
All right.
So it's like
people, I remember Colonel De Beers. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
To me, the most racist shit they did to me was the Mexicals when they came out on a lawnmower. That was ridiculous. That was stupid. That was dumb.
Oh, I remember that shit. Dumb. I think, showing all the Hispanics, like this, like the cleaners. I remember that shit. Yeah.
That was.
You know what's racially offensive? It was right before Eddie Guerrero died though, but it was very offensive. Chavo Guerrero, current white, ain't white.
Man, fuck Chavo Guerrero. Chavo's a fucking
my god.
hater.
Now you can do.
You know what's racist? It was hilarious. Just for the moment, it was hilarious.
You can.
No, I like the cold current white shit, but. You know what I'm saying? Shouts go out to my dude Madison J. Like we bumped heads a little bit off that particular topic, saying that I was saying he was a hater. He sounded like a fucking hater. He does. And Madison J. was saying, how do I know what's going on behind the scenes? I'm like, my dude, just read this shit. If you're a historian when it comes to wrestling. Not only he sounds like a hater, he sounds like a fucking hypocrite. It's like, my dude, you're gonna sit there and talk about Rey Mysterio, you know what I'm saying? Using the LWO or using Eddie Guerrero name, you know what I'm saying, all the damn time. My dude, you ain't say nothing about that shit from before when he was using the shit while you was there.
He was trying to get back in, and probably Triple H told him no.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think
Like,
it's
that's like, and you also used Eddie Guerrero name multiple times.
Consistently.
You know
well,
what I'm
he's a
saying?
Guerrero, so
And yeah, granted, yeah. But it's like, my dude, just because it didn't work for you, don't be mad at Ray. Ray didn't even need to do that. Let's really be real. Ray been popping before that whole Eddie Guerrero push. Chavo never been popping.
well,
The
that's
only
not
reason why
true.
Chavo was a part of the SmackDown 6 was because Eddie was there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's a good, I guess you could say, tag team partner, I guess. You know what I mean? When it comes to that,
He sucked at
cool.
that too.
Well, you know, listen, I can't bring myself to shit on him. You know, he's been through a lot. I mean, he was the dude that found Eddie. You know, so it means a lot to him. So,
No, I definitely, that sucked.
and
I
he's
remember that.
definitely not a piece of shit like Vicky. That much is clear. I think we can all
Yeah,
see now that no one.
shit,
Because I've heard for years that Eddie's family did not like Vicky, but because that was his wife, they just tolerated her. That's what I heard for many years, and I couldn't confirm that. And I try not to get involved in people's personal shit, but after the stuff with Vicky's daughter, they just confirmed
So I
the
think
stories.
Tay Long confirmed it like a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
and my main thing is that, with Chavo, like, come on, my dude, that's all part of the business. It is. And he caught himself because he probably got a lot of backlash. A lot of people was probably saying the same thing to him, like what I'm saying now. Like, my dude, you sound like a hater. You know what I mean? Like, come on now, why you coming at Ray like that? So he had to play damage control.
I'm sure
No pun
Eddie.
intended.
I'm sure
And
Eddie
saying like,
wouldn't
oh,
mind.
that's how he said, oh, that's how you work people. That's how you work people. I was just playing around. Nah, you was dead ass serious,
I
my
don't.
dude.
I don't think Eddie would have minded. I don't think he would have minded being used.
No,
as
he
Ray.
wouldn't have.
The only time that I really was annoyed was the shit like after Eddie died was Randy saying Eddie was in hell. That was too much. And I remember like
Yeah, it
during
was.
that period when Ray was getting beat up in matches, instead of selling, he would just be screaming Eddie, Eddie. Like that was a little too much for me. That was dumb.
Yeah, it
I didn't
was.
like
That
that.
was
Yeah.
inappropriate. So I think some shit was inappropriate. Hey, but look, Sam, man,
Yeah.
you just mentioned damage control. Why the hell was damage control drafted to SmackDown?
I don't even know why they still got a
they
job.
they weren't doing shit on Raw in the first place anyway. I mean, that faction needs to go.
Like,
They
I'm so over them. Like,
need to get
and I
need
love
to
all
hit
three of
control
them
or delete
bitches.
on damage control.
All
Need
three of
to
them,
break
those are
them
my
up.
bitches. It's like Triple H, you got to hold not only one L, you got to hold 3 L's. How you fuck them up? I can't, yo. I'll never forget the time when he showed up at SummerSlam. I was pumped. I'm like, oh shit! You put all 3 of my bitches together? Let's fucking go.
And
These are
fuck it
not to
all
be
up.
fucking
Well,
bums, and
that's definitely
they all got fed to Bianca Belair.
that's definitely the number one thing that needs to be addressed once this draft is over. Because they got to do the draft on Monday, and then they got to do Backlash next weekend. But once we're at next week, once this shit is over, the number one thing that Triple H has to address is this women's division. It has been the Achilles heel. It's not been good, with the exception of Rhea Ripley. Nothing's cooking at all. We got to get some new stars over. Let's get some. Another thing too. The other issue with the women's division is ever since Triple H took over, like you can here's the thing, right? And AEW does this too. A lot of companies do it. You can still have feuds that don't involve a women's title. Like you need to have mini
Yeah,
feuds going on that don't involve
of
belts.
course. That's how
There's
you
no
build. That's how you build characters.
But it
right
can't be
since Triple H.
but it can't be
Since
the
Triple
main
H has
feud though. The
Right.
championship
But
has
since
to be
Triple H has took over, it's just been whoever the champion is feuding with whoever. There hasn't been like any substance of like mini feud. Like there's been like some small subtle stuff, but like nothing nothing the fans care about, nothing the fans react to.
Yeah, it's only two stories. There's only two top stories: Bloodline and Judgment Day. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. So
that's why you got to bring in William Regal.
Well, maybe he can change things when his thing is up.
Oh, please. He's gonna. Remember, he was the first person to join the Kiss My Ass Club.
Yeah, I remember that bullshit too. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
suck that cock.
Yeah, the Kiss My Ass Club. Yeah, see, that was another thing. See, that's Vince back then. Like I said, I think he had a bunch of fetishes that he was trying to express, and he did. So, I'm thinking either I know he likes women because he likes diva skanks. But I'm starting to think he's.
Did you know that
I'm starting to think he swung both ways.
Did you know that the Heidenreich Michael Cole segment was in a dream that Vince had? He dreamed it.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow!
I believe you.
That's creepy. That's really creepy. No, but Sandman, back to Damage Control. Okay, Damage Control had the women's tag belts for a while, but you notice all that time they didn't do shit with them, and they weren't entertaining. Much like All Elite's the Outcasts.
Here's the thing, like, because there's no tag team division in the women's division.
They should have got rid of them.
No tag teams. So like they're having the belt.
When
they was
Sasha
only
and
against
Naomi
one
walked
team.
out, when Sasha and Naomi walked out, they should have used that as an excuse to just quietly and privately retire the belts. That's what they should have did. But they didn't do it, and I've talked about it before, and I always get called a chauvinist when I say it, okay? Because this is not a WWE issue. This is an issue with society today. Like, listen, I'm all about equality, okay? I want girls to get the same opportunities that guys get, and I want girls to make the same amount of money that guys get. But see, here's the thing about equality. Equality only works if it fucking makes sense. And so what WWE has decided to do is that as a company, WWE has this, if the guys can do it, the girls can do it mentality. AKA, if the guys have money in the bank, the girls get money in the bank. If the guys have a rumble, the girls get the rumble. If the guys have tag team belts, the girls get tag team belts. The only thing the girls don't have at this point
is a mid-card title.
A mid-card belt. Right. They don't have a mid-card belt. But see,
and I think that's the key. That's a missing ingredient. They don't need a tag team division. They need a mid-card belt.
But here's the thing. With respect to WWE and with respect to the girls there, if your roster is not stacked enough or deep enough to support it, you should not do it. Their roster has never been stacked enough to do a Royal Rumble because every time they do a Women's Rumble, it's always like a combination of main roster people, legends making a cameo, NXT people. You need to have a roster that's stacked enough to have 30 people from Raw and from SmackDown alone. They don't have it. They just don't.
They never had
it. Here's the thing, though. Why does it like for the females, just don't do 30 women. Have
do 20 or something.
A nice little round number, less than 30. It's like just because the dude is doing it doesn't mean you gotta do it. You just being spiteful because you know you can't do it. You just want to be spiteful. Period.
Right. And it doesn't work for them. It doesn't work for them when they do women's Money in the Banks, and that's because just the body types that girls have. They can't do the crazy shit that guys can do. Most of them can't. There's a few girls
for sure.
that can. But,
I don't call it money. I call it money in the skank.
Yeah,
right. Most
I like that. I like that.
Like ladder matches are car crashes. Ladder matches are about the crazy death-defying spots. Most girls can't do those spots or are not willing to do those spots, so that doesn't work. You can do a women's elimination chamber or a women's cage match, I guess, but to the tag belts, like Sandman just said, they don't have a tag scene because there's barely any tag teams to speak of. That's the problem. Now, AEW has the women's title and they have the TBS title, which Jade Cargill has. But if you look at the women's roster that AEW has, there's actually enough girls to support a secondary belt. But look at the women's division that WWE has, the main roster, only the main roster. They don't have enough girls. Most of these girls are not over at all. No one cares about Candice. No one cares about Emma. No one cares about Johnny Gargano's.
And I was about to say that. And that's a crazy thing.
But did you see that TBS title match on Dynamite?
Well, with Taya?
Yeah, I had to take a break. I had to take a break from Dynamite. I had to take a break this week. I couldn't do it this week. Go ahead.
Don't give a shit.
I can't. Go ahead, Black Soul. Go ahead.
Like they didn't care. The crowd was silent the entire match.
Well, that's because it's been featured on Rampage. It needs to be on Dynamite. That's the thing too. That's the weird thing too, right? 'Cause I guess they didn't think about that when they introduced the belt.
Yeah, let's talk about
Times.
Yeah, I was about to say let's talk about AEW before we get up out of here.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk
the
about too. I
weird
want to
thing,
talk about the Outcasts. How
that's the weird
similar
thing
they
too,
are. Oh,
'cause-
go ahead, sorry,
'cause
Toe.
when they introduced the belt, they were still on TNT, but now they're on TBS. But Jade is usually on Rampage now and not on Dynamite, and I think it's pretty clear now that the AEW fan base, there are a lot of fans out there that don't watch Rampage. They watch Dynamite, but they don't watch Rampage. So the TBS champion is always on TNT, but never on TBS. I just find that to be funny. Oh, we do got some good news though. The pre-registration for Wembley right now is at 65,000, so that's good.
Yeah, and I'm that's what's up. I want AEW to win. I really fucking do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna call bullshit out with any company. I don't care who it is, because it's not difficult to book shit. It's really fucking not. Like at the end of the day, when it comes to these fucking companies, stop trying to make everybody happy and just do business.
Apparently Punk met with Jericho.
Yeah, I heard it.
Supposedly that meeting went well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yo,
the other
Punk,
thing too.
Punk is playing master chess. This dude is going around. Because he's getting older now, right? He can't go back to UFC. That's a wrap.
Of course not. No, I think he's had enough
So
of that.
he knows he gotta fucking go around and go on his apology tour. He went to Raw.
Just like Hogan did.
He about to go to Impact next. You're gonna see him backstage fucking giving Trinity Star praise.
And I was saying, man, look, I saw an article with Jericho. Jericho said he's going to refuse to work with Punk. So that meeting couldn't have gone too well if Jericho refuses to work with him. But I think half the roster don't want to work with him now.
It don't matter who's gonna. Remember, they building a whole motherfucking show around this dude.
Yeah, speaking
so it don't
of
matter if Chris Jericho can work with him or not.
Officially confirmed that show on the Owen Hart final, the Owen Hart Cup finals. I believe he said that was going to be July 15th. That's a Saturday, so that confirms the show's existence. So
I just wish this Owen Hart tournament could be. Don't give these motherfuckers a damn belt. That's number one. That belt shit was just so dumb. Giving them an Owen Hart belt and whatever. Like this dude, Adam Cole, baby, and what the fuck is that other bitch name? DMD. They didn't even talk about this shit no fucking more.
Britt Baker, yeah.
It was like the it couple that won that tournament, the male and female tournament. They don't even care. Like they do them. Where's those belts? They probably fucking pawned those belts for coke money.
Well, those belts were for toy sales. You know how it is. Replica belts.
Oh, speaking of AEW, also
bagging that shit.
Did y'all see Roderick Strong come out there to help Adam Cole? He's there now.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was cool. That was a nice surprise.
That was a good move.
That's my guy.
Yeah, very rare to get a surprise.
Sam, what I wanted to talk about was the comparison with Damage Control and the Outcasts. It's Outcasts. They've been doing these dumb promos where they're talking about how they came to this, that, and the third. All of them are ex-WWE stars. Now let's look at that. Ruby Soho, and by the way, what the fuck is a Soho? I mean, she's white. She's white, not Japanese. Anyway,
Soho, get it? Southern hoe. No, I'm playing.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. That's good analogy. Good analogy. That's great analogy. I go with that. That's a good analogy. Anyway, she came from a faction called the Riot Squad that wasn't going anywhere. And Toni Storm had a short story with Charlotte Flair, which died quickly, and then she ended up in catering. So, and like somebody on Twitter is saying that these segments with the Outcasts, when I'm talking, he says they have the charisma of a brick, and Saraya called him saying. And that's the thing right there. That's because it is. Look, Saraya Page responded.
You got charisma as a brick? What the fuck?
No, they're saying they have the charisma of a brick. But the thing is,
oh shit.
That guy, look, Saraya responded to the guy's tweet saying, calling him a turd. And so I responded with some tweets of mine and calling her out, saying, look at this. The guy was technically right. they have the charisma of a brick and the appeal of a bad rash. That's how entertaining. That's how not entertaining as the Outcasts are. So the thing is, it's not going anywhere, and it's not going anywhere. It's just like Damage Control. I mean, and I love AEW, but Tony Khan's booking with this shit, not good.
Exactly. Like I've been to their shows. I ain't got the last show I went to. That shit was Thraka. But you know what I mean? The other show I've been to with the Iron Man match between Kenny Omega and Pac, I had a great time.
Oh, speaking of that, Kenny's facing Mox in a cage match May 10th.
Oh, that should be good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna.
I want to see that. That I want to see. I want to see that.
Those motherfuckers, they be creating mayhem.
No, well, John Moxley, look at this. Somebody told me John Moxley, when you look at his face, somebody said he actually looks like a psychotic, like he might kill somebody someday for real.
He is. He said he likes to stab people, and I'm not really.
Was he crazy? And look,
that's a little bit too much.
Renee Arquette likes him, and Renee Arquette's married to him. Well, Renee Arquette better get a divorce and get out of there quick before she wound up in a pine box one night.
Yeah, he do look like the type that'll stalk out. He would stalk out a Renee hot pocket.
I just stalk him now. He's saying he looks like he'll kill somebody. Literally kill somebody with bare hands.
I just find it funny since he's turned heel, he hasn't bled once. That's hilarious.
Well, hold on. I wanted to say this. I'm gonna let this dude Black Star answer this. What would you call a Bianca Belair leg flavor hot pocket?
I'm not answering that.
Why not? Come on now. You know Marcus Brown, he always support the channel. Nobody want to answer that?
Nope.
I'm not touching that.
Bianca Belair, okay. Well, I guess you can call her a EST hot pocket or a EST pocket.
I like that. The EST hot pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good name.
Oh, better yet, the EST booty pocket.
There you go. Look at the booty pocket. EST. I like that. See, there you go.
It's thick, it's moist, it melts in your mouth.
Now you're getting a little cringe now.
Think about it. No, I mean, I take Bianca's ass and just go, bare my face, just go, and that shit.
I feel you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. About time, just do Malik, liking women, because any other time, he'd be like, yo, fuck Alexa Piss, that slut.
Well, Alexa Piss ain't got no ass anyway. I mean, she's like a 2x4, like a broomstick. You fuck her and you might.
Gonna get into. That's what I'm trying to tell Toph. Toph be playing around. Like, my dude, it's time for you to come out of retirement.
I'm just saying, look, when it comes from the body of Alexa Piss and others like her, it's like you're fucking a 2x4 and you might break your hips. It might hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man,
because there's no cushion there.
See,
I like cushion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they some pedo shit. What they do is AJ Lee talked about it, and I never messed with AJ like that, but she did a book, and what she would do is they made her do the same thing they make porn stars do. Is that when it was time to give her a costume, they told her they wanted her to wear jeans, and so what they did was she bought some jeans for herself, and they didn't like it. And the fucking Laurinaitis guy was like, we're going to send some modeling agents with you, and they're going to go out and shop. According to AJ Lee, they went to, Toys R Us, right? There's the Toys R Us section, and there's like the Babies R Us section, like for the kids and shit. They got AJ Lee jeans for like middle school girls, like the kind of jeans that like a 12-year-old would wear.
Well, she is she like 5 feet tall?
Yeah. So
so that's why she wear those Daisy Duke shorts. Yeah, like Daisy Dukes from remember Daisy Duke.
Like Lauren is a pedophile.
He probably is.
Probably.
We know Pat Patterson is a
pedophile. In so many words, she never worded it out in the book, but like if you read between the lines, basically what it was that they wanted her to wear tight jeans to create the illusion that she had an ass, because and their own words, her words, right, in the book, they were like, nobody wants to fuck you. We want you to be fuckable. So that and to me that's completely inappropriate.
I heard that. Yeah, I believe that.
Right. And so AJ said that's always been how it's been for small petite girls in WWE. And so if they did that to AJ, I know they did that to Alexa and anyone else.
Well, of course, we can see that. We can see that. We saw that. Oh, Toph. Speaking of AJ Lee, I got a story for you about her. And I heard this from another female wrestler who I'm friends with on Facebook, who worked with her in Ring of Honor. This is years before she got famous and married CM Punk. She was actually a kind of a hood rat herself. She slept with Jay Lethal. I think to get a push.
Dang, you just snitching on everybody now. Go ahead.
No, but she was. I believe it. So, like I said, she ain't no angel. Like I said, and she apparently she likes black men. So I guess Jay Lethal hit it. He hit it long before CM Punk did. So
Yeah. Well, anyways, I ain't gonna lie. We didn't pass the 2-hour mark.
Oh yeah, this shit was fun. Yeah, this shit was lit too. Like,
yeah. This is a great show. We was definitely vibing. Yeah, man, to spread the word like always, B.
I love the wrestling, the wrestling roundtable, the council, the wrestling. What do you call it?
Yeah, the Council Roundtable.
Yeah, I love the council roundtable. Yeah, it's my favorite place.
Appreciate
This
that.
is a wrestling channel.
It's because of you guys too. You guys pull up and talk your shit. Like I said, this is like barbershop talk when it comes to wrestling. You know what I mean? Like we just all pull up and just talk our shit. Ain't nobody got to be blocked for speaking their mind. No types of shit like that.
And the main thing is
I got to share the picture next week on the little screen share thing. There's a little funny meme. It's like a round table meme. You guys have probably seen the round table meme at some point. It's like a bunch of dudes standing like around a round table, and they all have like their swords on the table, and like each sword has something different written on it. One of the funniest round table memes I saw was like WWE fans, AEW fans, New Japan fans, Boomer fans, Jaded fans. Basically, it was like every soldier was a different fan, but in the middle, it was like Vince McMahon's a piece of shit. So it was like everybody was agreeing.
We can all agree on that. Yeah, man. Speaking of that, you know what I'm saying? I got my people who's working on the upgrade for the logo, so you know what I mean. I'm gonna keep y'all updated when it comes to the new logo.
Oh, cool! Yeah, cool. Can't wait! Can't wait to see the new logo. Anyway,
and I want to get a reliable source when it comes to the t-shirts. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I'll buy a t-shirt too.
I ain't forget about y'all. I ain't forget about the whole t-shirt shit coming up, and I'm gonna keep y'all posted about that also because a lot of motherfuckers just be so full of shit. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta make sure you get the right motherfucker to do the shit properly.
Oh, here's something else, Sam, man. Years ago, 2015 is when I debuted, when I started doing this. I was joining a channel called Into the Arena, and I started watching them. They talk wrestling. After I
know that. I remember them. I remember this dude.
Anyway, the thing is, when I joined them, it was fun at first, all fun and wrestling and everything. But the thing is, the difference between them and this channel, which is better because it sticks to wrestling and doesn't veer off track and it doesn't veer off into bullshit. That's what Into the Arena did. They veered off into so much bullshit. They started to talk about another YouTuber and it got
and you see me, I nipped that shit in the butt ASAP.
Yeah,
look, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers ain't gonna be doing too much of that shit. Honestly,
no, it was trolls and like he would veer off into.
I know those Wrestle Suit guys fell off. I never followed them like that, but I know they were pretty big in the
Wrestle Suit. I never heard of them.
Yeah. I never heard of them.
Yeah, I don't fuck. Apparently, they fell off pretty hard. So.
Okay, I never heard of them, but anyway, no. Into me, they would go sexual, straight left sexual. It would just go to left field, and I after a while, they was trolling. And the thing I found out, the host, he was trolling people as somebody else.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, look, he was trolling. So he was trolling us in the Facebook chat and like would turn on us and shit. And that's why I left. That's why. That's a black man too, as a brother. I couldn't believe that.
I'm always going to be what the fuck about was the Bruce Blitz dude. You remember him, Sandman, the Bruce Blitz guy?
Yeah, he just disappeared.
Yeah, he's the one. He's the one I think is the most suspect because he was very entertaining. I used to watch his shit all the time, but. He was very popular like during the his peak years were during the fuck Cena years, like when Cena was still on top, and he was like
we got London in the building. That's what I'm talking about. Shots go out to across the pond.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah, he was like, "Fuck Cena, fuck Vince. You know, we need competition." Blah 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 blah
What happened to Bruce
be
Blitz?
popular. And I don't know, but the thing about it was like he was so anti Cena, he was so anti Vince, and he was so about like we need to have alternatives. And it's like Cena's gone. Well, Vince was gone, now he's back. But the point is that a lot of the shit that he complained about is gone now, and he just dipped. So it makes me wonder, like, did he even believe any of it? Or it was just a character.
Also, you know what? I've seen Bruce Blitz work with JD from New York. I think they were friends at one time. I don't know. They were acquaintances anyway.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Cena, I'm gonna say this live on the air before he shuts down. Sandman, guys, have y'all seen the trailer for? I mentioned in the chat the Barbie movie, because John Cena's in there.
Cena's in there, right?
I didn't see
the trailer
like
now.
the whole trailer. I seen bits and pieces.
Yeah, I'm saying he's in the trailer, but he's listed in the cast.
All I gotta say about that is that seems
that's
like
when he was wearing that little tutu.
Yeah, all I gotta say about the Barbie movie, it seems 30 years too late because girls
it really does.
They don't even play with Barbies anymore. They just
right. That's why I don't get it. I mean, and Barbie looks very pedophilic for some reason to me.
That seems like a movie they should have did in like 1995 or 2005.
Yeah.
No, but at 19, Barbie was out in the 80s. But Barbie was popping in the 80s. This movie could have been in the 80s. Because
like if it would have came out in 95, who would you pick to be Barbie?
Pamela Anderson.
You gotta have that bubbly personality.
Right.
Pamela Anderson.
Who could have did it? Who could have did it was the
Word, Pamela. You hit the nail. Pamela Anderson. I can see them having her as Barbie. Like what?
Well, she's blonde.
Not once going to that movie theater. It's gonna be nothing but grown ass men. Like Barbie.
You know what's bullshit though? I posted this earlier yesterday. What's bullshit is that Amber Heard or Amber Turd is going to be in Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
I heard about it. Yeah.
I'm going to say
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if the movie's good or bad. The quality of the movie doesn't matter. Just because her simply being in the movie, the shit's going to flop. People are not going to see that shit just because she's in there. And that's really fucking unfortunate because everybody part of that movie is going to go down that fucking they're going to go down because of her.
And she's not even fucking needed. It's like, why even put it like,
And then when it flops, James Gunn and WB will just be like, see, people don't want to see this. This is even more of a reason why we should reboot, even though ignoring the fact that it's going to flop because she's in the fucking movie. So it is what it is.
Speaking of DC, have y'all seen the new Flash trailer? That should look awesome.
Yeah, Batman, my dude Michael Keaton, son.
Yeah, he's back. Yeah, and then you got Ben Affleck too.
Man.
But basically, you have Justice League appearances.
It's like a continuation from Batman Returns.
No, also a continuation from Batman from a Batman Dawn of Justice too, and also from the Justice League too. Because you got appearances from everybody in there.
No. It's a continuation from the Batman Returns movie. So I'm thinking, like, let me find out. Michelle Pfeiffer might have a cameo up in that motherfucker.
Yeah, but also when you go back in time, you also see the Ben Affleck in the trailer too. So that there's elements of
so he's going through like the what's that shit? The Paradox Universe. Yeah, Paradox?
So you have elements of also Dawn of Justice too from in there.
That's why there's Supergirl in there because in the trailer they have old boy, what's his name? Zod. Yeah. He goes back to the Man of Steel invasion, but he's probably going to change the timeline where Henry Cavill's not there. That's going to be their way out of that. So,
and that's a shame because look, that's the Rock's fault. Because
Shannon Tatum.
But look, that's the Rock's fault. I blame him for that because ever since that Black Adam fiasco, he got Henry Cavill fired again when he just got rehired back.
Rock can hold this. Yeah, Rock can hold that fucking L. I'm a big Rock fan, but he can hold the L.
I don't care though. I like Black Adam.
I love the movie. Yeah, I have it. I have a copy of it. But as far as like behind the scenes of the business part of it, Dwayne Johnson fucked up. I mean, he ousted himself, got himself ousted, and Henry Cavill ousted. I mean, that's just wrong.
Here's the thing, though. This is the thing. Is like The Rock always been on that bullshit like that. Like if he has a big movie coming up, he's gonna show up in WWE and just shut everything down. Just to promote that one fucking movie.
And now he can't do that.
Yeah, he couldn't do it with Black Adam because Black Adam sunk.
Right.
It sunk as far as numbers, but it was still awesome. It was still awesome to watch. I mean, it just sunk the numbers as far as numbers.
Yeah, I like Black Adam, but it just didn't make no bread.
All right, and the last thing I got to say is the Rock Roman stuff. Like we already know is done, but just for anyone out there who's in fucking denial and they'll still think, oh, it's like that Beavis. Not I said Beavis and Butthead. It's like the Dumb and Dumber. Like, oh, there's still a chance. Like, no, it's over. It's over for one simple reason, because at this point in time, let's just say, let's play devil's advocate, right? Let's play devil's advocate, and let's just say they did Roman Rock at Mania next year. If they were going to do the match, this was the year. This is the only time to do it. You can't do the match now because nobody benefits from it. Because if you do the match next year, at that point, Roman would have already been champion for 1,000 days. He's already beaten Taker at Mania. He's already beaten Brock. He's already beaten Cody. So, like, Roman gets no benefit at all. And if Rock beats him, it completely shits on the roster and everyone else. Like, so a part-time god has to get beaten by another part-time guy. Like, no one benefits from it. It's over. It's like it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
It's gonna be worse.
The only time it could have happened was this year. The minute that Rock pulled out with the I don't feel ready, we already knew he wasn't. We knew. Okay. The reason why Drew lost was because they thought they were doing Roman. They jobbed out Drew because they thought that they were going to get Rock. The Rock fucking edited an episode,
and that was so dumb. Like, it wasn't even written in ink that The Rock was going to show up. So why did y'all even trust him to even do that?
Yeah.
So to me, like, the only way this match happens is if Roman goes completely out of control.
My bad. Go ahead.
I said that the only way this match actually happens is if Roman goes absolutely out of control. Just like beats the Usos' ass, beats Solo's ass, just beats everyone's ass.
Just in general, the only way that Rock ever can do anything in WWE again, because like you always say, Sandman, people don't want to hold Vince accountable, whatever. The only way The Rock can ever do anything in WWE again, it's got to be Rock, it's got to be Triple H, Vince, or whoever the fuck is in charge of making decisions now. I don't fucking know. They go get a hotel. They pull a Sopranos, where they did that poker game with, the big money where they were like, they fucking just rented off the room for like 3 weeks or some shit. They get into a hotel room. They fucking lock the door, fucking hire the CIAs, and basically like, okay, Rock, here's the deal. I need you to choose between X amount of days and clear your schedule. Like, so like as an example, say Triple H, Rock, and whoever is in there, his agents are in there. Say it's Triple H is Rock's agent for his movies and his agent for wrestling, right? They sit there and Triple H says, okay, Rock, between the year 2023 and 2025, I need you to pick at least a 3.5 month period where everything's free and you can show up and do whatever. Because the thing that people need to understand is that if he's going to come back to WWE to work with anybody, he needs to be on TV to promote it. He needs to be on Raw and SmackDown to promote it. But in order for that to happen, there has to be a period of time where he's clear and free. No movies, no TV shows, no XFL. That's
not going to happen because he's always fucking busy.
Right, yeah. See, that's what I was about to say. But my point was, I think he has a whole lot of business ventures that we don't know about yet. That he may have more a movie project.
That was the that was the number one reason why I knew Rock Roman wasn't happening, because, and I'm not trying to be anti-Roman, Roman's barely on TV as it is. So it's like you can't have Rock Roman where both of these dudes are never on TV. Like, how's this going to work? How are we going to build
never
this
doing
up?
promos?
Right. It doesn't make sense. You can't do, like, when you did Rock and Cena, that worked because Cena was on TV. So he could still do shit or say shit to keep it going. But you can't do Rock Roman because neither guy will be there on TV. You just can't both have them do satellite promos every week. It's not going to work. So, yeah.
There you go. Now, let's end it on that note. Let's end it on that note. You know what I'm saying?
I got one
point. We're gonna pull up. We're gonna pull up on Monday because I'm thinking, like, you know what? Let's pull up on Monday since the draft is gonna be on Raw, and we might do like a watch party for that shit.
Yeah, live reaction to the draft. Yeah, I like that.
Since that's the last day, of the draft, so why not?
Oh, look, no, last time was the Black Adam post-credit scene with him and Superman made appearance, that was so awesome, and the best part of the movie is so exciting. Now we're never going to see a continuation of that situation because of everything that happened now.
As a matter of fact, speaking of movies,
yeah, go ahead.
I didn't know Twisted Metal's about to come out. I think it's coming out on Netflix or some shit like that. Is that for real? For real?
What's Twisted Metal? I never heard of that. What is that?
Y'all don't know about Twisted Metal? It's an old school video game with cars that got weapons on it and they be blowing shit up.
Oh, okay. I look for that.
Sweet Tooth. It was on the PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
No, I guess. Damn. I thought Twisted Metal was that popular. Oh well, plug it. Anyways, I'm up out of here. Y'all already know the vibes.
All right.
Let's pull up on Monday and do the same damn thing. Look up.
Alrighty.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Have a good weekend. We'll be talking to y'all in the chat, of course.